Welcome, Jason Fladlien here, co-creator of Rapid Crush, and we are almost to our 10-year anniversary. In fact, Wilson Matos and I actually started a joint venture together in September of 2010, and now we're in September of 2020. So it is a decade strong. Prior to marketing, I never thought I'd do anything for a decade straight because I would last about a year or two, and then I would move on to the next thing. And I know most of you can relate to that. Today, though, we're going to talk about other strategies that don't need you to be obsessive to be successful, that allow you to have more freedom but get some results without having to sell your soul in the process. You could say it's the 80-20 rule where 20% of the effort gets 80% of the results, but I don't actually think that is accurate enough to describe what I'm going to talk about with you here today. I think that hints at it. But if you actually look up the definition of entrepreneur in its first defining term of how it was defined as saying of taking resources that were being utilized on a lower level and figuring out a way to utilize them on a higher level. And if you can master that art of transforming ordinary resources or ordinary opportunities or ordinary anything into extraordinary, the value is in that process of what happens between here and here. And we're going to talk about that today. Now, this is going to be a free-flowing webinar. There's a reason I have an iPad in front of me, and no, it's not to see where my kids are at on Roblox right now. I will be using that as my main teaching tool. This is a dynamic presentation. This is you, the patient, being presented to me, and me monitoring your vitals and determining what type of medicine you need and what treatment you need to be healthy, happy, and wealthy. As such, I expect interaction from you. If you're watching the replay of this, then just play along and pretend it's live. But we're here live right now, and your vitals, your responses, your feedback, your energy will greatly influence where I take this. So if you ever want to have your case being heard, or specific insight and don't want to pay me the $3,250 an hour that it otherwise would be your investment, then now is the time. Okay, so let's get going. Jason Fladlien here. I also have Wilson Matos, who will be mostly in the chat. I'm sure you'll hear from him later, but let me do something now that is going to be kind of cool. I think I haven't done this for a while, so forgive me when, not if, but when I screw some of this up. Okay, so first thing, let's check in. If you see that whiteboard, let me know. It's not a real whiteboard, it's a virtual one. But these days, what is real and what isn't, I'm going to have to unlock it. There it is in front of you. And I'm just going to write a simple hi smiley face on the screen right now. We rocking that? We seeing that? Hopefully that's rocking and rolling. Okay, cool. All right. So where are we going to go today? I'm going to give to you knowledge that is straight off the top of my head, which I attempt to channel from something greater than myself. And the whole thing of being here today is this. Here is where you are right now. Some of you have smiley faces. Some of you do not have smiley faces. Some of you have more frowned faces. And you're trying to go to a situation that is what? So please tell me where your destination is that you would like to go to. All right? It's a good point. If you don't know where you're going anyway, we'll get you there, kind of a concept, right? Jody says leverage land, to infinity beyond, financial abundance. Those are all kind of cute terms. So let me write some of those down, actually. So financial abundance. Let's talk about that one, because that's a good answer. I say that in quotes. There's more to it than that. So Trevor says six-figure profitable revenue. Okay, that one's interesting as well, okay? Because you could do six-figure revenue, I believe, Trevor, over the next 50 years, but maybe you want to get there sooner. Nellie says freedom. Freedom is good, right? I like freedom. Sometimes I've discovered that the only way to be free is to have structure, which seems to be the antithesis of freedom. The paradox of success. Maybe we'll talk about that a little bit more. But we see financial independence, we see comfort and ease, we have time autonomy, et cetera, et cetera. What is the big problem with all of these descriptions? And there is a huge problem when you describe where you want to go in these terms, all right? There is a gigantic, Jeremiah says it best. It's vague, it's abstract, okay? It is not clear. Here's what I want you to do. I want to imagine this is your future right now, all right? And this is your future, and it's a picture of art hanging in an art gallery. And all of these onlookers are looking at this beautiful work of art in this gallery that is your future in a picture. And what would that look like? How specific would that be? All right. Unfortunately, for most of you, your picture looks like this, but not just this, right? It also looks like, well, we're going to like put some of this in here as well. And then we're going to like add some of this into there too. It's chaotic. And maybe if you're like Jackson Pollock, maybe you can make that work, but there's a reason why he's famous, because he is so rare in the wild. So unfortunately, this ain't going to cut it for us. You're not going to be able to get there this way. And I don't know why I can't erase, but it doesn't really matter. Let's just go on to a new section here. What we want is ultra clarity. We want something so crystal clear that it would be impossible for you to miss once you've achieved it. It is a bullseye that we can aim for and hit. And once we can actually have a bullseye to look at, then it's amazing how much easier it is to hit. You feel that or not, right? And by the way, it is so fascinating to me when I do these trainings how people immediately want to know, what's the technology you're using, Jason? Or as I was discussing with a client the other day, wants to bring me onto our audience. So like, hey, they want to know about what your digital camera is that you use or your lighting, okay? Those have their places, okay? This is the hierarchy. If you want to get successful in internet marketing, this is the model that you should follow in try to do your best with. But this is backwards. This is how everybody does it. So the tactics would be like, what app am I using? Here's my answer. I don't know. I can't remember. I downloaded the thing. It works just as good as any other, and that's done. So the tactics are the tools, the mechanics, some really cool things that you might discover that are short-term. Dare I say tricks? Oftentimes they're tricks. Like, hey, if you put this border around this image, it might give you a higher type of click-through rate, right? But if you can give me nothing other than your attention, I could deliver value to you because I know how to cultivate a message. So the strategy would be like the message, or what you're doing specifically that is unique in terms of the value that you could provide to an audience. Even who you served would be your strategy. And the vision, what is the vision? The vision is the most important, but it's the least understood, okay? This is the vision right here. You follow me? Is this making sense so far? This is the name of the game. It's not that it's hard. It's not that it's hard. It's just that a lot of people, they don't know to prioritize it. And I don't blame them, right? Because vision is, here's your 50,000 foot view, to use an old tired marketing cliche. There's a 50,000 view, and then there's ground level down here, all right? So ground level would be simple things that you want to do. So somebody give me an idea about what you're doing right now to try to make money online. Feel free to tell me what it is, and I'm going to classify it to you and how important it may or may not be towards your success. All right. So Jeremiah says selling on Amazon. So selling on Amazon is a 50,000 foot view, because you could sell on Amazon a variety of different ways. Proofreading, I like that one. That's more ground floor. And by the way, you'll probably notice I don't do it half the time. I'm not very good at it. So ground floor is something that you feel like you need to do that. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, right? We have options traders here and Forex traders. That's cool. I like that. Learning the ins and outs of certain programs, developing new products, drop shipping. So all of you are either describing high level terms like lead generation. I don't know what that means. Even brand strategy and creation. Or you could be describing very specific things like setting up an email list or a website or a fill in the blank here, right? So where are we at? We're missing the gap. This is what we're missing right here. We're missing this gap. What goes in between those two? That's actually most important, because the high level view, have you ever looked at this? Were you ever looking at the sky and then ran into a wall because you weren't paying attention to where you were going? Happens to me all the time. Head in the clouds, right? Well, at the same time, though, if you're focusing on the ground level stuff, you could be working really hard and not getting anywhere or have anything to show for it. Okay. So somebody says, Nelly says, traffic is key. It's an interesting assertion. So let me ask you this question, Nelly. If traffic is key, If I gave you 1 million visitors right now, could you properly utilize those visitors? What would you have? What would you do if I gave you 1 million web visitors this very instance? Could I even send them to you? Do you have a web property that would be functional for me to send you that traffic? And Nelly says no, and I appreciate the honesty. And most people say the same thing. They think they have a traffic problem. When traffic is not the problem or the solution, traffic is something that will come along automatically when you solve the real problem, the one problem that will solve 1,000 other problems. And so we have to live in the middle somewhere. So here's what this means. So the first thing we need to do is get our vision, all right? And I'm going to tell you why in a second. Because you have the vision, other people can do some of the work or most of the work or all of the work. They can rally behind your vision and get excited about it. But if you don't have the vision, you can't even do your own work. You can't even get your own results. So how do we cultivate a vision? How do we get to a vision? How do we have a vision? Well, a vision starts with knowing the core components of what makes success in internet marketing or marketing in general or business in general, okay? So here is the core components. There is what we call the offer, what we call then the audience, and what I like to call, so we have the offer, we have the audience, and we have the message. That's it. So here's the issue. It's not a traffic problem. It's not a conversion problem, okay? It's not a copy problem. It's not a product problem. These things are interrelated. You can't have one with the other. What we have here is a problem of connection. We have a problem of unity. We have a problem of having some sort of straightforward approach that we can follow, okay? It's the genius of you making money is figuring out an elegant way of connecting these three pieces together, offer, audience, and message, all right? Because the greatest offer in the world presented to the wrong person will fail every single time, 100% of the time, okay? So offers are only good in the relationship to the audience that views those offers. Will, I love how Will says it. Will says, if I had the cure for cancer, but it only worked for women, I could never sell it to men, no matter how hard I tried. And he's absolutely correct. So your offer and your audience have to be connected, right? That's tough. Harder than it looks. So no offer is good or bad in general. It just is or isn't as it relates to an audience. For some audiences, you could have offers that would change their life. But for other audiences, if they took your offer, it would end their life. It would be that disastrous. Okay? So offers are relative to the audience. Now, you could have the right audience and you could have the right offer, but if the message is incorrect, it don't work, right? If you're speaking Italian to somebody that only understands French, it doesn't matter if you have the perfect offer for that person. You will still lose. All right? Is this making sense so far? Because this is just warm-up, okay? I hope this brings you clarity, because this is how we're going to have to build our vision. Our vision must include an offer. Our vision must include an audience to put in front of that offer. And our vision must include a message. And then we should have a finite dollar amount within a certain amount of time. So this is going to be my clock here. This is a horrible clock. Okay, forget the clock, right? We'll just put time in, right? So you have to find an elegant way, because if you have the greatest offer and you know the best audience to serve it to, and you have the perfect message to connect that offer and that audience together, but it takes you 67 years to manifest it in any way that actually shows up in the real world, we call you loser. You lost, all right? Or if you make $1 million, but it cost you $2 million in time and effort to make that $1 million, guess what we call you? We call you loser. You lost the game, all right? And I don't mean to be harsh with you, but I think you need a little bit of tough love. Who here is okay with a little bit of tough love if it helps make you a lot more money? I don't think the market is giving you enough tough love right now. I think they're pandering to you. I think they're catering to you. I think they're holding your hand in one hand while they're robbing you of your pocketbook in the other hand, right? And I feel that, and I understand that, but I don't like it. All right. So what we need is an offer, an audience, and a message with a fine amount of time. Okay. So let me tell you offers that always work. Okay. Offers that always work generally. What I mean is these are offers that have already been factored through, that I know that they will work for audiences and that they can be messaged properly. Because some offers are great, but you just can't explain them. Other offers, it takes a genius to be able to explain them. But certain offers are so good that even if you barely explain them, they still grab and they still go. All right? So offers that always work. They first and foremost, they address pain, not pleasure. Okay? The core of these offers is to solve a pain issue, not to create a pleasure issue in the sense of gain. It's pain, it's not gain. People want to feel less inadequate than they do want to feel more confident. I know that sounds strange, but I was just reading the other day this book, it's called Stealing Fire, and they talked about how many articles are published in psychology related to symptoms and afflictions versus about positive psychology. And it was something like for every one positive article on psychology, there's 67,000 cases of negative symptom focused challenge, because this is how we are hardwired as human beings. Now, if we can ourselves overcome that, congratulations. But your market, that's asking too much for people to fundamentally change who they are. They might do it over time if they hang in there with you. But short term, they just need relief, right? You can't teach somebody Einstein relativity, right? if they have a migraine headache. Forget intelligence. If their head hurts too much, they just won't be able to even listen to you. So we have to give them relief from pain before we can do anything else. So offers that always work, they have pain at the forefront, solving a pain and focusing on a relief from that pain, allowing somebody to be able to do something that they've tried before and they could not accomplish. Those are offers that will work fantastically well. Well, here's the other issues, okay? They cater to the 2%. What does that mean? They cater to the 2%, right? I want you to pretend that this is $100 million that I'm going to put on here, okay? We're going to call this the market. So what markets are worth $100 million? Quick question to you. This is a fantastic question to consider real fast. How many markets out there, number-wise, do you suppose have $100 million worth of revenue in them? Meaning that the customers that make up that market spend in total $100 million. How many markets have a minimum threshold of 100 million? Okay. Trevor's, and this is funny because Shannon says Amazon Marketplace, they do way more. Big Pharma, way more. They do about 100 million a day, by the way. Cars, same kind of concept. Food, okay. I think Jeremiah is the closest. There are probably 100 million markets that have a $100 million minimum threshold of revenue possibility within them. It is fascinating to me how little, on the grand scheme of things, $100 million is in a collective market. For example, horse dressage. Does anybody know what that is? It's a $100 million market. Crazy, right? Yeah. And I don't know if I even said it right. But basically, it is. And that's one of many thousands of quirky markets that exist. And by the way, certain dressage, I don't know, right? Just the German Shepherd dog market alone. Forget every other breed. Just German Shepherds alone are $100 million market for the owners. Right? Think about that. And by the way, some markets overlap because none of you are in one market. Many of you are in many markets. And by the way, I love it how bad I am at pronouncing certain things and how pedantic some of you are trying to help me out. One time I spent in a seminar about 15 minutes trying to say the word volume, and I still don't feel like I could say it many years later, okay? It's fascinating to you, though, how many of you know this, but the average person, you stop them, whether it's dressage, 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 blah, 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 yada, 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 they're still going to look at you like you're crazy, okay? Doesn't matter. How many markets are 100 million? Answer, lots of them, more than you would ever imagine. So there's a lot of markets that are $100 million, okay? Now, if a market was only $100 million, here's how the spend breaks down, okay? $100 million markets, which are tiny. They are rounding errors in most situations. If it was broken up and you had to guess, this is 50% of the market here, this is 50% of the market here, right? If we had to say, these are the ones that are passionate about a solution, and these are the ones that are just interested in a solution. By the way, I apologize for the bad writing. What would you say the breakdown is? If half of them are passionate and half of them are interested, how much money is being spent on both sides? Is it even? 50 million apiece? Or is one side spending more than the other side? Yeah. So it's not quite this, but it's about 90 million, and this is about 10 million, okay? That's what it looks like, okay? People that are interested will spend money on certain things, right? They will buy the $1.99 ebooks. They will buy the impulse checkout items. They will buy the bestsellers that show up with seals of approval, right? They will do that kind of stuff. These people, though, they will buy all kinds of crazy things. So they will buy the Peloton bikes, which cost like what, $5,000, right? They will buy the $5,000 treadmills, which we have one of those, by the way. And I use it like I would a $500 treadmill. It's funny at the end of the day. But whatever, just in case I might want to use the extra because I am passionate about my fitness and I have the economic means, $5,000 treadmills when $500 treadmills might do, just in case they don't do. This is your market. But it actually gets more irrational than that. By the way, I want you to write that down. Irrational is the key to your success if you really want to make it in this business. You want to serve people that have irrational challenges with their problems and looking for an irrational way to solve those problems. Let's be very clear with each other. That's not a negative terminology. A lot of people like to associate the word with the word irrational with some sort of unhingement or some sort of craziness or some sort of neuroticness or whatever, right? But all of us act irrational about certain things at least some of the time. That is who we are. We want to find the slice of the market that is irrationally committed to be able to solve their problem. Because, you know, to use the weight loss example even further, if somebody's 250 pounds overweight, it is irrational in some instances for them to feel like they could lose 250 pounds. It is irrational for Jason Fladlien when he's just starting out, living in a 400 square foot apartment, to think that he could build a $100 million empire. That is insanely irrational, okay? But I did it anyway, all right? Irrational just means they are willing to do things like go on 3-hour webinars to learn about very niched and very nuanced topics, AKA every one of you here on the call today. You are irrational as a market because most people won't go on a webinar. They won't even watch a 1-minute video. All right, so we want irrational markets. But here's how the market really plays down. All right, if we have $100 million to spread around that market in terms of the money that's spent, here's actually what happens. All right, there is the 80-20 rule. So you're going to have about 20%, and they are going to spend the 80 million. All right, right there. The other 80%, they're going to spend the 20 million. So if we could only target one of these audiences, and spoiler alert, you will only be able to target one of these audiences. Who should we target? Should we target the 80% that spend 20 million, or should we target the 20% that spend 80 million? Yeah, the 20%. But that's not all of it, okay? You ever heard of fractals? All right, so I can take this, right? And I can divide it up. But then I can divide it up again, and then I can divide it up again, and then I could divide it up again, infinitum. I could zoom in. I could really go deep on it, right? And we could continually divide it up. There is an infinite number of numbers between 0 and 1. Did you know that? It's an interesting field of mathematics. There's an infinite number of numbers between 0 and 1. Because whatever number there is, you can be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 2, et cetera, right? So this is the concept. So what is the 80-20 of the 80-20? Here's what it actually looks like. 2% of a market will spend 49% of the money. Okay? 2% of the audience will spend 49% of the money in that market. So 2% of people would spend 49 million of the total amount available in a $100 million market. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? So let's put it another way. If you had 100 people, this is your audience that you could sell to. Our goal is to find the 2 and focus on them exclusively, even at the cost of all others in that market. All right? If this was a classroom full of kids, we wouldn't care about anybody but the A+ students. That one is a hard one to get. This is why this is hard for you. This is why this is elusive. This is why this is challenging. This is why most people will never get this. Our audience, who we want to go to, so what does the pyramid look like? We have our audience here. We have our offer here. We have our message here. Our audience is the 2%. They are the unicorns. And boy, as I get more excited, my handwriting gets worse and worse. So I apologize again for that, okay? We want to go after the 2%. So who are the 2% in internet marketing? By the way, tell me if you resonate with any of these. The 2% in internet marketing. I'm talking customers. Okay? Who are the 2%? They have spent at least one time, they have bought a $2,000 course. Anybody here ever buy a $2,000 course? Or 2, or 3, or 5, or 10, or 20, or more, right? Oftentimes, some of you have bought them through me. Jeremiah says 3 with you, buddy, okay? That is irrational. By the way, the first car I ever bought was a Saturn that was $4,000. So I bought a half a car with my first $2,000 investment, okay? Now, by the way, how many people complete those courses? 2%. Interesting, right? So they'll buy them. Will they complete them? I don't know, right? But they will buy them, all right? They will fly thousands of miles to seminars when we used to be able to do that thing pre-COVID, right? Who here has gotten on a plane, flew halfway across the country to stay in a hotel to listen to strangers, for the most part, speak at you on stage, oftentimes also selling you something, right? Most of you have. Not all of you, and this isn't, you don't have to have all of these traits, right? With some of these, okay? You are a 2%er. If you have consumed hundreds of hours of material on a niche topic. So I'm not talking about like social media. I'm talking about like TikTok or Pinterest or whatever, right? Hundreds of hours. Not hours, hundreds of hours. And I could rattle off 10 or 15 or 20 different examples of an audience that is primed, okay? An audience that is primed to target. And the funny thing is it's really easy to talk individually and specifically to that 2%. Now, who addresses them? Nobody intentionally. Almost everybody accidentally. And yes, I've spent hundreds of hours just learning about German Shepherds and how to train them since I got my German Shepherd, not my first one, but the second one, the problem child one, right? And that is an example of an irrational passion. Spending $13,000 on a surgery without even thinking about it, and then spending $150 on a rare carrier, rear harness, just because I didn't want to wait the 2 days for Amazon to deliver it to me for $20, right? That is an irrational market. It's irrational. That's who we want to serve. Because, by the way, this is very important. Irrational markets get underserved constantly. What do I mean by that? What do you suppose I mean by that? Irrational markets get underserved constantly. Well, they get underserved in a couple different ways. What do I mean by underserved? Okay, so let's just say this is your 2%er here. How could they get underserved? Okay, yes, it's a supply-demand issue. There is lots of demand for specific results or specific options, but there is little supply of those. By the way, Economics 101, when something is highly in demand and limited in supply, it is inherently much more valuable. And that is true. That happens all the freaking time. All the time where this is the case. Most of the time this happens because everybody wants to get 1 million followers instead of 1,000 true fans. Okay? When I ask them their picture, and I say, how much you want to make? And they say, I want to make $10,000 next month. I say, how are you going to do that? How many customers would you need to make $10,000 next month? And they go, boom, they're done, right? If they were in front of me now, I'd put them in a trance. I would hypnotize them and then maybe help them a little bit easier if they're unconscious mind. I said, as you contemplate that problem, I want you to relax the part of your body that is going to be most receptive to being open to the answer of how you will achieve the $10,000. And I don't know if it'll happen right away or if it'll take just a little bit longer. But as you ponder the $10,000, I want you to consider and see the number of customers in front of you that are collectively handing you the money that would make up $10,000. And what does it look like? So, one way is 5 people paying you $2,000 or 1 person paying you $10,000. If you're an affiliate, which I'm a huge fan of, and you make $1,000 per referral on a $2,000 product, you would need to refer 10. How do you refer 10? It's a lot different than if you're trying to refer 1,000. People that want to refer 1,000, you know what they do? They go to Facebook. And next thing you know, I'm asking them to describe their target market, and they're saying women between the ages of 45 and 55 who graduated from college, who have 3.5 children. You've lost the game. And a lot of you on this call who I've talked to recently, because I've did a lot of consultations, you have made that criminal act of marketing by describing your audience in demographical terms. You have lost the game, my friend, and I feel for you. And I don't want you to continue to do that. That's why I'm telling you this right now. You've took the humanity out of the human business, which is every business, especially the 2%. We have to have very clear people. If I said you could only sell 5 people by the end of this month, who would your 5 people be? You could probably give me their names. That's what I'm talking about in terms of clarity, okay? That's not ground level stuff, but that's not 50,000 foot stuff either. Okay, but why? Let's continue this conversation. Okay, remember what we said? Irrational markets get underserved constantly. Let me tell you another reason why. You'll like this one. Because they are irrational. Because they are irrational, they don't make sense. They're head scratchers, okay? Let me give you an example. The best person to sell a $25,000 mastermind to is a person who just bought a $25,000 mastermind. In fact, the average person I know that buys a $25,000 mastermind buys at least 2 of them, usually 3 of them. that seems irrational on the surface of it, at least. But guess who you don't have to sell the value of something like that to? Somebody who already has experience in it. And for whatever reason, people who buy stuff, even if it gives them everything they need, they'll buy more and more and more. It's hard to explain without taking forever. So you just got to trust it or observe it and test it, okay? But because they don't seem to make sense, everybody overlooks them. The elusive obvious. You ever heard of that term? That's what this is, okay? Here's another reason why they're underserved. Because they are underestimated. Not just economically underestimated, okay? There are so many things that people would pay $1,000 for just to save 1 minute of their time on. Or just to have that extra little bit of breathing room. And so when people think that they are really going that extra level, they don't even understand that there's the extra level to the extra level. They underestimate the propensity of this market to spend and the propensity of this market to be interested, okay? I can't tell you how many conversations I've had with people who said there's no way people anymore want to stay on webinars. I have sat in rooms and people have told me with all the conviction in the world that they said, we're going down to 25-minute webinars now, Jason, because the attention span has somehow shifted. After 50,000 years of evolution, the human instantly made this leap in 5 seconds, right? And this person it's so confident that they're telling me this in a seminar room that we've just spent 16 hours in, that nobody pays attention anymore, right? Now, Patrick brings an interesting point. Patrick says, I'm listening carefully. At this point in the presentation, you need to point back to what's in it for me. What am I going to get out of this point? That's an interesting assertion, Patrick. And I am suggesting that maybe I don't have to. But let me ask you this question, Patrick. Are you part of Affiliate Triad right now or not? It's a good question, isn't it? And it's okay, whatever your answer is. Because that answer could affect things. But maybe there's something here that I'm willing to lose your attention on by taking a slower path to the end goal as opposed to burrowing right through the ground, all right? But that's your audience. This is your audience. This is the offer. And then this is the message, okay? So you see how these two are kind of intertwined. We have to offer something to this audience. And we have to offer it in a unique way with the message. Here's the problem with the message. The message constantly changes, okay? You know what the only thing in this life that will stay the same? Constant change. That's the only thing that's certain. The only certainty is uncertain. So the messages, even to the right market, with the right offers, will constantly be changing. Now, what can affect messaging? What could affect messaging? Current events. The news, okay? That could affect messaging, okay? External, what I call externalities. What do you suppose I mean by externalities? Something just shifts for whatever reason. So COVID is an externality. Just happened. And that changed the game for a lot of people. In some people, good ways, and some people, bad ways, okay? Internalities. Certain parts of certain markets change over time, all right? So there's these cycles that you're going to observe in this market where something falls in style, then goes out of style, and then comes back into style, all right? So that changes as well. There, in the fitness industry, it's fascinating. It will go back and forth on a spectrum from P90X style, Orange Theory type of fitness where it's like kill yourself to take a pill. And there's very little in between, right? So it's CrossFit, kill yourself, and then that will fall out of style, and then the easy button will fall back into style, and then when that doesn't work, the kill yourself approach will go back into style again, and it will repeat ad infinitum. ad infinitum. That is the relationship, okay? So here's my question to you. Offers to the 2% of the audience require specific approach, this specific flair, specific communication, really specific everything. The more that you can attune these two together, the better. They are attuned through the message, okay? They are tuned through the message, and the message is constantly changing. So here's the question to you. How do you keep up with all this? How do you master these things? How are you capable of, how are you going to be able to manage all of these simultaneously? And the answer is you can't. Most of you cannot, all right? Let's just be very clear. Some of you can, very, very few of you. Almost nobody, I guess, that's probably on this call could, okay? Because the challenge is these take a massive amount of time to get really good at, and you have to get good enough at 2 of these, at least, to make up for the third, if you're not good at all 3 of them. You should get good at 2 of them. It's almost impossible to get good at all 3 of them. But it takes a while to get good at all 2 of them. All 2 of them, some 2 of them, 2 of them, okay? So here's the real question. If you could only choose one of these 3 to get good at, what should you start with? Obviously, they're all interrelated, but what one should be primarily your focus? And Elizabeth says messaging. Trevor says audience. Jeremiah says always find your buyer first. Audience, audience. Most people are saying audience. That's interesting. Good. We're on the same page. Okay. Now, again, we have to over time get good at all of these things. But where should we focus on? Audience. I believe for a majority of you, your focus should be on audience, right? Only for one major reason. This is going to sound self-serving, but listen to me, okay? Let's hang with each other just a little bit. Right? If you did not have Rapid Crush in your corner, I would tell you instead to focus on message first. All right? If you did not have me in your corner, I would tell you to focus on message first. That's where I started. I started with message, right? Because messaging involves getting attention. So even if you have the right audience, how do you get their attention? So you have to get attention, and then you have to create desire. Right? Then you have to differentiate from all the available other options that are out there and other choices, right? And then you have to, what? What's the last step? You get attention, then you create desire, then you differentiate, and then you close. Yeah. This is where I'd start. If you did not have us in your corner. The reason why Will and I have been so successful in this business is because we've focused on message more so than anything else. How do we get the attention? How do we create desire? How do we differentiate? How do we get people to realize that this is in their best interest if it's in their best interest? Because what I've discovered is if I can do that, I can more easily shift it from this position to that position, from this market to that market, from whether this is on Facebook or whether this is on TikTok or whether this is on content marketing or what have you or where have you or whenever you have, right? So I would say you should first focus on message and then you should focus on offer, because you can get a lot with a little. What I mean by that is if you have a very compelling offer and it's presented with the right message, then what can you do? You can get other people to give you their audiences, right? So what needs to be part of a compelling offer? It's got to have a lot of input a lot of input. And what is input? Input is often capital, so people have spent money. Input is often time. It's expertise, right? And it is current or relevant or whatever the case may be. So I'd first say learn how your message works, because the message is a fundamental, specific approach that will always work regardless of what year we're in or how it changes. People typically respond in certain ways, and once you have those bases covered, then you're good to go. The next thing is figure out how to make offers that are just so ridiculously better than what is normally out there to that market and that audience, and then you go after the audience. Then you go after the audience finally, okay? That is my approach, and it served me well. This is how I was able to make $1 million essentially with 3,000 people. Most of them starting off paying me $4 to $7 to $17 original. That's how it came to be, all right? But here's why I think it's better for you to focus on the audience. Because I have the offers, and they're not my offers. There's a little hack on this, right? And I have the message. So you can outsource these to me. You can outsource this to me. And then you can focus on this with my help and with the help of others. All right? This is why I recommend that you take this approach. Okay? So if you were to outsource your offer selections to me, okay? Offer outsourcing. What sort of advantages do you think that could be? So here's the challenge. Do you feel confident that you know what a good offer is or not? How confident are you in your ability on recognizing what good offers are? Okay, a little bit, somewhat, a lot. All right, what I've discovered is a majority of people don't know a really good offer from a good offer, from an okay offer, from a not so good offer. Okay, and I'll tell you why. How many offers do you get a look at and review on an ongoing basis? Probably not very many. Why do I say that? How many of them do you buy? How many $2,000 courses a year can you afford to purchase, even if you wanted to? And what to speak of the money? The money's the easiest part about buying a course, going through them. Some of these courses are very substantial. There's 10 or there's 15 or there's 20 hours. Now, let me put it to you another way. How many times can somebody make something sound good, even though it doesn't actually work? Most of my peers, they make a career out of that. So how do you know with a lack of experience of actually implementing and doing it what constitutes a world-class offer or not? What is an amazing offer, okay? How fantastic is it? There's some things that sound so theoretically true. What you'll hear from me is I will tell you things that don't sound so pleasant, but I tell them to you because I know that they're truthful. And that's the best way I can help you, is by giving you the true North Star so you can find your way through this jungle, right? But offer outsourcing, one-of-a-kind type of offers. But here's the other thing. I'm going to call this offer collusion. Now, collusion is usually a negative term. What does collusion mean, typically? It means that people get together and they conspire a way to create something that is anti-competitive. It's a scheme where they can control and manipulate markets, that type of collusion, okay? But what if there was ethical collusion? What could that look like? What that could look like is this. Hey, if you want me to promote your offer, you're going to have to do things for me that you won't do for anybody else. That's the type of collusion that I'm talking about. How could you get away with that? How could you get away with convincing somebody to change parts of their offers or make exclusivities of those offers or add things to those offers that normally they wouldn't? Okay. Now, Marie says something very interesting. She says, isn't that collaboration? And it's not. And let me bring on Will to answer why it's not. Will, would you call it collaboration when we try to help people that we want to get behind and promote their offers? Do you consider that collaboration and how we work with them? Or is it more...
It's more negotiation than collaboration, right?
It's more
I will say this. At a super meta level, it is collaboration because we want the same outcome.
Yes.
We want to influence the most number of people. The path from what we do to get to that destination of being collaborative is not a straight line, right? So there's a lot of give and take, and we take a lot.
Well, and here's the thing, though. I always look at it as collusion or coercion because we're trying to get them to do what's in their best interest, but they don't realize it.
Yeah.
And so we fight them.
It's the example that you always use, which is we want the kids to eat vegetables, right? They don't want to eat vegetables. We're going to force it down their throats or bribe them or trick them or lie to them or coat it with some candy or something like that because we want the outcome, which is to serve everyone, right?
And that's the art of this. And that's why it's hard for them to understand. Will and I have to qualify ourselves now. And it took us 6 years to learn this. When we say, oh, yeah, we're doing this ethically. Because before, when we didn't mention ethics, it like confused people because we just assumed that ethics were a given, but they were not. So we've had to, call it conspire, call it coercion. I don't know. There's a saying that my guru used to say to me when I was a monk that he said, by hook or by crook. And I never really liked that saying until I really thought about it from what Will and I do, is we do things in a way that will benefit all parties. It's the win-win-win-win scenario. It's 4 wins, actually. I'll talk about that here in a bit, right? But we have to fight them tooth and nail, day and night, because it's very clear to me. If they did what Will and I did, they would have the results that Will and I have. And Will and I have the best results when it comes to promoting offers in the industry. They don't see it. So we have to help them see it. And oftentimes they will give in to us for no other reason than they know if we get behind it, it will change their whole outlook. If we get behind it, we equal their whole revenue for the rest of the year that they get working the rest of the year. That's the type of leverage that you would need in order to get these questions, to get these.
Do something for me, Jason, real quick.
Yes.
On a new page, draw a box.
All right.
And I'm going to use an example that you just used a little bit ago. And if we take each one of these concepts, and we'll start with offer here. So this is the offer. When we say offer and you have to get good at the offer, that is one box. But inside that box, there are fractals, right? So cut that in 4. And on one side is let's just call it quality of the product, right? Is the product well done? On another side is support of for the product. Does the product work? Is it ethical, right? So you can start cutting this. Now, when it comes to support, does it have good support? You can cut that in fractals too, right? What does good support look like? How does the customer access support? What are the hours of support? What's the response time of the support, right? Yep. And from a quality of the product, what is the delivery methodology, right? What is the delivery time frame? What are the results that it delivers? So we say offer, message, audience, and you have to master 1, 2, or 3. In all reality, within each of those areas, there's a lot for you to master.
Yeah, easily, right? 8 to 16 subpoints for each of those buckets, right?
So it's not 3 things you have to master. It's probably 50 things you need to master. And audience, by the way, is the easiest one because it has the least amount of fractals.
Yeah, that's a very good point. That's a really good point. And the other thing too, and I don't know if this fits into your box here, Will, but there's 2 things on the quality or 2 things on an offer. And this will get a lot of people that are professionals, much less those that are customers, there is the offer's perception of value. And then there's the reality of value. What I've discovered is really, really good offers, they nail this. at the expense of this. And guess what happens to those offers? If you create an offer that in reality is so good, but the perception of it is not world class, you know what happens to that offer? It fails miserably.
We've had examples of this. We've fallen prey to this ourselves in our history.
It is so easy for you on your own offer to do this. So what Will and I attempt to do, and this is what I want you to outsource to us, is we attempt to find the offers that in reality are 10 out of 10s. And oftentimes their perception right now, as they stand, is 3 out of 10, or maybe 4 out of 10, or 5 out of 10. And what we do through that coercion is get them to adjust things, reposition things, and set things up. And now automatically the offers go up to 7 out of 10. And then we come in with the messaging for those offers, and we get perception that's 10 out of 10. All right? That's what we typically do. And so what I want you to do is I want you to outsource the offers to us. We are going to tell you what offers that are promoted based on what's available, based on what we can negotiate to make them world class, as I'll call them, right? Based on what we know is going to make you the most money, which is focusing on those 2%ers. And so Will and I are really good at sniffing out the offers that we know that these markets that are dying to buy them are not being served, not being catered to. So this is what I want you to outsource to us. I want you to outsource this and everything that goes along with it. And there are certain benefits of outsourcing it to us that we can negotiate on your behalf. When I started, my first job I ever really had outside of painting houses as a kid was I was in a carpet store, a flooring outlet, basically. And it was a flooring outlet that was part of a co-op. And you know what's so great about a co-op? A co-op takes together and leverages the collective power, in this case it was a carpet one, of a variety of different smaller businesses or smaller people, and they pool together their power to be able to have the same influence as big boxes do, as huge brands do. So it's like a best of both worlds scenario. You don't have to be a big brand, big box store and all that issues that come along with that, but you don't have to be a solopreneur either, which I think is the kiss of death for most of you these days. You know, social media has actually brought us further apart than it has drawn us closer together, but no man is an island, you know? No person can do this alone. The solopreneur, I will say, is doomed to fail 99 times out of 100, if not 100 out of 100 times, because you're just playing at an unfair advantage if that is the case. So I want you to outsource the offers to us. Now, we don't create the offers most of the time. Almost always it's somebody else's offer. Why is that? Why do you suppose we don't create the offers a majority of the time? Instead, we uncover the offer as opposed to create it. Because even we can't do all this. Even we can't do all this. Nor do we want to, even if we could. Divisions of labor is a huge advantage when it comes to making money online. Divisions of labor, right? Okay? We have found that we can find and uncover offers easier or influence offers that make them unique, all right? Whatever the case may be, and we can spend a majority of our time on the messaging. Let me tell you about a product we're working on right now, all right? They have 864 pages of testimonials. Or not pages, sorry. There's 84 pages of testimonial. 864 successful customer testimonials. $864. Of those, I have found 33 thus far, and I'm only a fraction of the way in, that are what I call money testimonials. Meaning that those are the types of testimonials that can make people buy just on the strength of those testimonials alone. There is 33 of them. All right? 33 of them. Now, I'm going to actually read from my phone what they said today, because I shot a video on this the other night for the customers that are already allowing us to outsource this from them. Okay? This is what he said to me today, because he's like, I watched your video. Okay? This is what he said. Let me find it. He says, hey, Jason, just watched your intro video. Super exciting. Loving the direction. We've always been a little too reserved with our results. Why do you think that is? It's an interesting question, huh? Why too reserved with the results? Doesn't matter why, does it? But it's interesting. The reluctant hero. I like that, right? One of the reasons why, I think, is it's just too much. What I mean by that is, it's like, how do you pour through 864 testimonials? How do you prioritize those testimonials? How do you even read all of those testimonials? When you're coordinating everything else in your offer, if it's truly world-class, it takes everything you got to make that offer. And so it's really easy just to pick some testimonials that are just kind of nice and throw them out there, and that's what everybody does. And they miss the bigger point. I read all 864 testimonials. I play like puzzle pieces with them. I put them in this order. I put them in that order. I intimately become aware of them. And then I figure out what is being said in those testimonials that would help the 2%ers who would like to buy those products.
So here's an interesting tidbit around the concept of division of labor, right? We do all this, or Jason can do all this, when he's focusing on the message.
Right.
When we focus on the offer and the message, because the offer is something we created, we suck just as bad as everybody else.
Today, we will show you how bad we suck, because we have, I don't know how many hundreds of pages of testimonials for Affiliate Triad, and we're not going to use any of them, right? Because we can't do two things simultaneously. I can't walk and chew gum. It's impossible, you know? It is a fascinating situation on division of labor, okay? But we focus on the message, we uncover the offer, and then we try to empower you to drive the audience, okay? Now, here's the thing about audience. Believe it or not, most of you, almost all of you, already have the audience to take advantage of the world-class offers and the messaging that would go along with them. I am going to suggest to you, and you might fight me on this, and I hope that you at least open your mind up to this a little bit, that you already have an audience and you don't even know it yet. Now, where do you suppose that comes from? That comes from the experience of having done this already since May, June, July, August, now in September, month 5, of seeing so many of our successes in Affiliate Triad do it with audiences they didn't even know they had. And I'm not talking small successes. I'm talking big successes. So for most of you, while I know you want to make $50,000 by next month, that's just not realistic. But if I could make you $5,000 or $10,000 by next month, that is very, very, very doable. And by the way, it's not where you start, it's where you finish. We start you moving in the right direction, and oftentimes we can take off the training wheels almost immediately, right? Kevin says it really good, 6 points of contact, right? 6 degrees of separation. It is amazing for you when all you have to focus on is audience, how the world can change for you, all right? Even better, I don't want you to just accept that we have the best offers that we pick to promote. I don't want you to accept that. I want you to validate it. And how can you validate it? Well, wouldn't it be wonderful if whatever product that we promote, be it a $2,000 product or a $200 product or whatever dollar product, you can look at the whole product, go through the whole product, observe the whole product, do whatever you want with the whole product, essentially, right? Wouldn't that be wonderful? Well, that's what we do. That's core part and parcel of Affiliate Triad, is we want you to outsource Us finding the offers, negotiating the offers, setting up the offers so that perception matches the reality. And then you can validate it. But isn't it easier to validate something than to have to create something or get something or whatever something, right? And Elizabeth says this, best decision I made this year. Elizabeth, if you don't mind, elaborate on that for me, if you would, please. How do you know it's the best decision you made this year? And I want to share whatever you type out with everybody else, right? But most of you already have the audience. And if not, you can find the audiences when you're looking for 5 or 10 or 15 people to buy products like these where you could make $5 or $10 or $15,000 per month, right? It's not that hard, even if you have to go out and get the audience. If that is the only thing you have to do, let me ask you this right now. What business model are you working or trying to work where the only thing you really have to do is find the right audience? And my guess is most of you are not only singularly focused on that. You're doing everything. And you know your offer isn't the best offer. And isn't that hard to take action when you know that your offer's good or maybe pretty good, but it's not the best? And you definitely know your messaging could be improved upon because we take $1 million products and improve upon their messaging. Will and I have an affiliate Triad promotion that we've done now where they've essentially came to us and they said, they're like, we want you to do our messages all the time, right? Because even though they're a company that has done like $10 million, $15 million or some odd 8-figure promotion, they bow at our feet, practically literally, and saying, whatever you guys do is way above and beyond the scope of whatever we could do. And so they are eager and excited that we do that for them. So we have messaging at the level where even the all-stars acknowledge the Hall of Fame status. Okay? Huh. Interesting, huh? Now, Elizabeth says this. Let me just share this with you. And any other affiliate Triad member, this is not coordinated or orchestrated. Well, I wish we were that calculated this time, right? This is ad hoc as is, right? Elizabeth says, because I was tolling around trying to figure out what to do, I spent nearly $20,000 in other stuff that was supposed to help me move forward. I made $1,249 in the first 2 weeks. Best mentoring, exclusive offers, and a ton of work already done so I can focus on the traffic. There you go, right? By the way, the mentoring is just the dessert. Some of you don't need the carbs right now, the mentoring carbs, but some of you really can't resist it and it's helpful to you. This is helpful dessert, okay? So most of you already have the audience, whether you know it or not. And you can get more of the audience or you can get the audience if you don't. And here's the other thing about messaging. I have a love-hate relationship with internet marketers. I have a love-hate relationship with internet marketers, okay? Because let me attempt to, and I am a horrible drawer of all things. Okay, what is this? Does anybody know what I just drew on the screen here? I want to see if anybody can recognize this because it's so badly. Okay, press it. Good. Most messaging is like this. They spend all the effort on the packaging, or what I like to call the gift wrap. And then when you tear into it like a Christmas Day present, what you discovered is on the inside, there is actually nothing there. It's empty. There's nothing there on the inside. It is empty. Or worse, there's even less than emptiness in there. Okay? Yeah. It's coal. It's coal in the stocking, right? And that's because perception sells. Okay? Perception sells. Reality sticks. All right? But unfortunately, sticking can be...
That's really powerful right there. Everybody should write that down. Perception sells, reality sticks.
Yep. Now here's the problem. You can become a millionaire just off of that alone. You can't become a millionaire just off of this. You can accelerate and become a multi-millionaire, right? But you can't get started from here. Will and I, we like systems that work that are positive feedback loops. So we start with reality, but then we pay careful attention to making the perception meet the reality and match the reality. And so the idea, though, here is you need both perception and reality to be successful in this business. And that's what we spend our time on in the messaging. But here's how we do this. At the end of the day, everything I attempt to do, and again, this is why it's so hard for you to sell your own stuff. It is so hard for me to sell my own stuff. That's why I pretty much have given up on it, right? If I'm selling somebody else's stuff, I put 50 hours into the webinar. I'm selling this webinar kind of stream of consciousness off the top of my head with a virtual whiteboard. And it's not nearly as tightened. It's not nearly as strong. It's like proofreading your own work, right? Good luck, right? At least for me. And so the challenge, though, with all of this is, besides being too close to it and having this issue of the messaging, here's the other issue with messaging in terms of how to present it. I'm a huge value first, sell second guy. This is much harder to do. This is why I want you to outsource this to me. Because in Affiliate Triad, we do sell. We sell products every single month, right? And we sell hard. I am a firm believer of selling hard. If somebody you love is about to make a seriously wrong decision, I don't want you to soft sell them. I want you to hard sell them, okay? We don't want to treat catastrophic problems with kitty gloves, okay? But I'm a firm believer of value first, sell second. You know how most of the advertising world works? How do most advertisements do you see? How do they go? Or most commercials that you would view? What is the general theme of those commercials? The whole ad industry is built on this concept, right? They get a gecko that sells you car insurance, right? Or Jake from State Farm, right? You know, what are you wearing, Jake? Or the other guy, what's his name? That's all beat up all the time, selling the Allstate insurance, right? Havoc or whatever, right? They entertain and then they sell, okay? That's how most of the advertising world does. And that works if you're selling everyday, blasé sort of individual stuff, right? How most internet marketers sell is this way. They give you, you'll like this, they give you a headache first, then sell the Tylenol. That's how most internet marketers do it, all right? Does it work? It does make money. I don't know how well it works long term, but it does make money. And that's icky, gross, disgusting style marketing. And most people have to suck it up, and that's the only roadmap they have to follow, so that's the roadmap that they try to follow, right? They basically say, trust me and spend money with me first, and then I'll give you value second. Will and I flip that equation around. We say, we'll give you value first, and then you can decide if that value was worth investing secondly, okay? So it comes down to this. If you had the very best offer that anybody could promote that month, and most of those times those offers are negotiated to be exclusives, meaning nobody else gets to promote those offers, okay? And if you had messaging that was unique, up to the minute, one of a kind, because every month I am writing new webinars, new funnels, new scripts, not just me, my whole team does this, right? We do this collaboratively together, right? And all you had to focus on is the audience. Don't you think that that could be your best ticket, where you outsource the rest of this stuff to us? I think it could be. I think it could be. But here's how you can find this out, all right? If you have never heard of Affiliate Triad until today, go ahead and type in me into the chat box. And if you have heard of Affiliate Triad already, then type in I into the chat box. So Kevin is a me. That's good. Kevin, I already sense that you're going to be in and you're going to love this program. We have a lot of me's, but we have a lot of I's as well. All right. Ooh, this is good. Ooh, I like it. Ooh, this is good. All right. For the me's, to have, and I haven't even showed you half or even a quarter of what Affiliate Triad is yet. To have somebody negotiate world-class offers with one-of-a-kind deals that only affiliate Triad members get access to, and then have me painstakingly write every slide, every word, every email, all the landing page copy, come up with the bonuses that are exclusive just for these offers we promote, right? Build the funnels, Dean. Yes, I will build the funnels too, right? How much do you think that would cost to outsource something like that to a company of our stature, right? Considering we do have the 10 million. I like Jeremiah's answer, $50,000. Yep. You know, we charge clients 50,000, or we charged, I should say. I tried the service business. I gave up on it because I didn't like working with the offers that much. I like to promote them. I don't like to work with them, right? Dean says too much. Well, how much too much? What is too much, right? Carol says could not even consider it. Okay. This is what I like. Here's what Freddie says. Will, this is really good. He says, how have I not heard of this before? Bought ASM twice just because you're good at webinars. So I got Freddie to buy a program that was $3,500 twice just to get the bonuses, which is part of how we make the best offers. Perception match the reality. I got him to buy another program again. We did, yeah. Randy says 100K, okay? That's how much. Yeah, and if you bought social covers, that was one of the promotions that we did with the bonuses, with the offer, with everything, okay? Now, I haven't even told you really 1/10 of the value of what this is, all right? But this is what this is. We do this at $349 a month. That's it. What I'm excited about with Affiliate Triad is, even though I believe it is 10 times more valuable than any course that you would spend $2,000 or even $3,000 or $4,000 long term with, right? We allow you to be able to try it out, and it stays the same when you sign up. $349. So you like it, you stay in. You don't like it, you don't have to stay in. We have the worst stick retention strategy in the business because we don't have any. We don't do save the sales. We don't do any of the follow-up situations. We don't try to downsell you into a silver level membership. I mean, I want to do all those things because it breaks my heart when somebody leaves, right? But we are the easiest thing to cancel in the world. And that's because Will and I spend so much time creating the offers and the messaging and setting it all up for you to be able to be successful with the audience. So Carol says, LOL, damn right, I am considering it now. Well, Carol, just definitely let me know what you're considering about it and if there's anything I could do to help you make the consideration.
Jason, earlier when you asked Carol how much it would cost, she said could not even consider it.
Yeah. So we've made progress, Carol. We have now gotten a step closer, right? So this is $349 a month. And by the way, this is very awkward. Okay, Deborah says the countdown timer is 0 and therefore cannot subscribe. Is that the case for anybody else? Because that shouldn't be. If that is, that's an issue that we messed up on. But let's just validate that real quick if we could, Will.
I'm gonna go there right now.
Okay, because that would be amazing if that were the case. And yet, more to the point, okay, order page is good. That's what other people are saying. So if that's you, it might be cookied for whatever weird reason, Deborah. Just refresh it or open it up in a new browser or do something else again. All right. Now, here's the thing, though. I want to be very clear on something here. This is very awkward for me to try to explain this to you because I don't really know how to do it. All right. But I'll try my best. All right. I don't know how to do it in a way that doesn't feel, what's the word? It misses the point. It's too easy to misconstrue. But nonetheless, I'm just going to give it to you. All right. The product that we're promoting for Affiliate Triad is $1,997, or it's like 6x 377 or something dollars, right? Let's just say it's 370-ish. Don't quote me on that, right? When you sign up for the Affiliate Triad, you're going to get full, what we call review access to the products that we're promoting. Every month you get full review access, right? Every month.
And here's why you get review access to the product, because like Jason said, we want you to validate. You can take our word for it, but we don't want you to take our word for it. We want you to validate. How many times do you believe you've received an email from an affiliate promoting a course, a training program, a piece of software? What percentage of the time do you think they've actually seen it, used it, tried it, vetted it? What percentage of time do you think that happens? 25%, 10%?
Nobody's right yet.
Nobody's right at 10%. Hardly any. That's closer, Trevor. 0%, 2%.
Fiona's got it about 2%. Yeah.
Yeah, Fiona's got it 2%. So how do you feel? How do you feel about promoting something that you've never seen just in order to earn a commission? Because you can sign up for all kinds of affiliate programs out there and earn a commission. But if you've never used it, if you've never seen it, how can you tell any sort of audience that you care about at all that they should do it?
Yep.
They should sign up for it.
Yeah.
Right. And Marie says, I don't do it. I won't promote it if I don't use it.
God bless you.
Yes, that's exactly what we want you. We want all affiliate Triad members to do.
Yep. And we will even tell you, if you don't yourself personally get excited about promoting the product, please don't promote it. Because we believe that instead of having you promote the gift wrap, we want to show you what's inside the package so you can promote what's inside the package from a position of understanding. Now, here's this little weird thing, and this is why I get uncomfortable about it, is some people will look at this and say, hey, Jason, are you telling me that I have to invest $349 and I get a course essentially that's $2,000, right?
Every month?
I'm not trying to tell you that because I don't think that's the purpose of this. But if you do look at it in that perspective, then yes, it is true that you get not only everything that Affiliate Triad brings to the table, right? But you also essentially, you get a 6-time investment back immediately. And that's, in my opinion, just part of it. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you specifically because Bob asked me this. So this is a good time to segue into this.
Yeah,
Bob says exactly.
Before you move on for just a second, just make it super clear. No, it's fine. You can stay there. Make it super clear. This is review access to the product, which means you will have full-on access to the product for a limited amount of time. It's usually 2 to 3 weeks. Time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You're not getting the product for free forever, because that is not the point. The point isn't for you to pay $349 to get $2,000 products every month, right? The point is for you to review it, validate it, vet it, make sure that you believe in it, like as much as we believe in it, so that you can passionately promote it. And when you go to your audience, you can say, I've seen it, I have access to it, and this is absolutely as awesome. The content of the gift wrap box is as good or better on the inside than the gift wrapping itself.
Yeah, it is better. It's like not just, we don't sell them a treasure map. We sell them a box with full of treasure maps on how to get other treasure maps. So here's what you get. Let me just be very quick, and then I'll answer any question and every question that you have. And it's this. First thing is you get the one big monthly promotion. We pick a product that month, we design the funnel, we create the marketing materials, and we hand you over those assets. That's the first thing you get. When we used to do this, our minimum charge for clients were $30,000. But because we can spread it across all of our members, that's why it's not $30,000. But we will build the landing pages for you. There'll be webinars. And so you'll get a webinar that will look like this. You send people to it, and then you get all of the commissions for that product yourself. This is us giving you an unfair advantage. That's what this is, right? You're getting my webinar crafted. These are unique webinars that even the vendors of these products, they don't have these webinars. We do not allow the product creators to be part of these webinars. They are 100% uniquely developed by us promoting those products. You get one of those a month with Affiliate Triad, okay? What else do you get? Well, like I said, not only do I give you the webinar, but it would be one thing if I just tossed you the recording of the webinar, or I tossed you the registration pages in and of themselves and had you set them all up, right? we're going to give you every page that you would need to promote this product from start to finish. So what happens before the webinar, what happens during the webinar, what happens post-webinar. We also create the bonus page, or the page that we send them to sign up for these products on your behalf. And those are custom made as well for each and every promotion. And again, oftentimes what I'll do on these pages is I'll put 30 or 40, 50 testimonials, and every single time the people that are their own products, they don't even have 1/10 of the testimonials for their own stuff that we develop, what to speak of the bonuses that we add to it, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is an example of what one of these pages kind of looks like. They're pretty intense, but all the bonuses, we create the bonuses, we fulfill the bonuses for you for the unique specific bonuses, and they buy through your recommendation, and you get paid like an affiliate would if you did all the work yourself, if you created the webinar yourself, if you created the bonuses yourself. So we create the sales pages for you. We put the bonuses directly in line in those sales pages. And now you have this grease shoot essentially from click to purchase. And that's the big part of Affiliate Triad, but that's not the only part of it. Okay. Besides bonus creation and fulfillment also done for you, we support these bonuses too. We do have, from a mathematical standpoint, the best support in the industry in terms of response times and in terms of satisfaction for those response times. So we support these bonuses on your behalf, and we fulfill them. And so you get the fulfillment that you have beyond just the greatest bonuses with the greatest pitches for the greatest offers that we can find. And oftentimes Will and I will spend money on our behalf, on your behalf, and we don't pass those costs on to you. So if we acquire a third-party piece of software that we have to pay per distribution fee, we eat that cost. Okay, this is what we do. I don't want to say we're always guaranteed to do that, but so far we've never had to pass any bonus fee or cost on to any of our Affiliate Triad members, and we're going to try to keep it that way forever and ever and ever. Oftentimes we will do better than money back guarantees for these offers. And so imagine us promoting somebody else's product and not only taking their guarantee, but adding a guarantee on the top of it. We don't do this every single month, but when it makes sense to do it, we do it. And if we have to honor these guarantees, which sometimes we do it out of our own pocket, and you don't have to pay any money to honor these guarantees. We do this above and beyond for you, so you get that as well. You get essentially everything that goes into the strategy of how to optimize a promotion of a product. So you get the best product and the best messaging for it. And this is the same strategy and idea. This is essentially you outsourcing us as your conversion team, which is look at Rapid Crush. This is the record. We hold the promotional record. And back then when we had people promote alongside of us, because we had a few, they had to give us half of the money they made. That's what we charged them. What we're offering to you is not half of the money to be part of this that you make, but just simply $349. All right. We also have a massive treasure trove of insights and education and observations and over the shoulder type of stuff from me. And so you don't have to know what's under the hood on how the car runs, but some of you want to, and I would want all of you over time to not just earn money, but learn the craft. You feel me? Now there's a very real reason for this. One of the ways that Will and I can keep the enrollment fee for Affiliate Triad so low is because we get a 10% referral fee from the vendor of the products. It doesn't come out of your pocket. Let's be very clear. You're going to make the money that anybody would make. But essentially, we negotiate with the vendor, the product creator, that says, if for however much money that our members sell, you give us a 10% bonus on top of that. And this is why.
Let me correct you. You said they'll get whatever money any other affiliate would get.
Oh, that's true.
In most cases. In some cases, you get more money than any other affiliate would get.
For the promotion this month, we have negotiated for you to earn more than any other affiliate could. And I can't say anything more publicly about that, right? That's only something I can divulge further detail for Affiliate Triad members. But in this particular case, we were able to negotiate for our affiliates an even bigger cut than any other affiliate for this program has ever had before. Interesting, huh? That's the power of the co-op. But over time, we want you to learn the craft, because the more money you make, the more money we make. So this is a very powerful way that Will and I have been able to stumble into this really great model at Affiliate Triad and actually be on the same side as you. Because most vendors that sell products are not on your side. Whether you make money or not does not affect their bottom line too much. It's whether you buy from them or not that affects their bottom line mostly. And Will and I...
So here's sorry, I cut you off, Jason. There's a lag. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, and so we do make money when you spend money with us. Certainly a portion of the revenue that we make comes from your membership dues at Affiliate Triad. But our goal is to make that a drop in the bucket compared to the successes that we generate. And so far, we've done a pretty damn good job of that. And as you can see in here, we have testimonial after testimonial after testimonial of people talking about just the tutorials and education and insights and over the shoulders alone, right? So the value and motivation I get from each side webinar is huge. I just did a training the other day, impromptu, for Affiliate Triad members. So, because we had to create a product to sell to the public to fulfill on some other obligation. And so I said, give me a live audience to put in front of that product. And it was Affiliate Triad members. It was like a pop-up training that everybody got for free that was part of Affiliate Triad. And so we do stuff like that all the time inside the program. So it's funny because it's the best education and training program we've ever developed, even though it's not an education and training program. Affiliate Triad is a done-for-you program predominantly, where we pick the products to promote for you, we create the bonuses for those products, and we create the webinars in the funnels and hand them over to you and even help you set them up specifically. That's what this is, with a side serving of insighted education, because I don't want to just catch fish for you and feed them to you. I want you to be able to catch your own fish one day, someday, right? And that's one of the reasons why we have this private Slack group. You need community to succeed. It is an incontrovertible truth. If you do not have the support of the right type of community, it makes everything 10 to 100 times harder in this business. Unfortunately, most of you are not in the right types of communities. You're in some community, but it's not a community that is empowering. All right. One of the reasons Will and I do our Affiliate Triad community on Slack is because nobody's posting memes of cute cats there, right? Not that I'm opposed to that. I love memes as much as the next person. But I find if we do these in Facebook, we get Facebook type of input and Facebook type mentality, right? The other reason I love this is talk about differentiation. You want to have a world-class offer, you got to do things differently than the next person does. And so Will and I run ours inside of Slack, and it costs you nothing to be part of this extra. You get that as an enrollment with Affiliate Triad. It costs Will and I probably over $100,000 a year because we have to pay per user per month that we allow into Slack. And Will and I happily pay that because we know our competition won't pay for that. They're too cheap. But this allows us to do things in a community basis for internet marketers that can't be done anywhere else. And existing Affiliate Triad members can tell you exactly what that is. In fact, when you join Affiliate Triad, you can certainly start interacting with them and get the full scoop to make sure that our gift wrap is not nearly as good as what's inside of the package as well. And we have all kinds of good value in there.
Bob asked, how do I don't have any experience in online marketing? How do I evaluate this offer and what's inside? And it's so easy for you to evaluate, Bob. As soon as you join, you will go inside Slack. Within like 10 minutes of you joining, you will get an invitation to go into Slack, and you join the community and you ask our members, you ask the inside, you look at everything that we have in there. And if you spend 1 hour doing that, you will know immediately this is the best investment you've ever made. I want to make a couple of comments here, Jason, on the slide that you were just on about community. Right? How many of you have been working somewhere in internet marketing in some way, shape, or form for a while? Say me and how long? Tell me and approximately how long. So Kevin, me, let's see, 40 years. Wow. Okay, me. Okay, now would you agree, you can just type agree if you agree with me, that it's pretty lonely to do this? It's pretty lonely. Like mostly, okay, agree, very, very much agree, right? And it's because our family and friends don't really get what we do. Our coworkers, we probably don't even talk about it because in all reality, here's a dirty little secret that we all carry along. Mostly, you're probably a little bit ashamed of what you do.
At least embarrassed.
Embarrassed or ashamed, or
Yeah.
you're not really willing in most instances, I'm not talking all, but most instances, you're not really willing to send an affiliate link to something, to a family member, to a coworker, to a friend, to a boss,
Yeah.
to, your schoolmates, right? And everybody's saying right and agree.
Yeah.
Because number one, it's lonely because you don't have a community of people that you can communicate with that are going through the same things as you are, right? And we've solved that problem unquestionably. And again, I'm not talking about a Facebook group where people are arguing and shouting at each other and sharing affiliate links and trying to get you to buy stuff. I'm talking about a community that is cooperative in every sense of the word, that helps each other to achieve their goals and make more money. Right?
Yeah, and Will pleases that community like you wouldn't believe.
I don't allow one bad word to be said. Bad as in like foul language, questionable expletives, right? S words and F words. I just don't allow that. I don't allow the conversation to go to memes and politics and religion. Like, it's focused. It is completely focused. And by the way, I've in the last 5 months, we have well over 100,000 posts. I have more than 10,000 just myself. I've never had to, I've had to delete 4 posts, I think, and all that, because they used an F-bomb or an S word or something like that. So you have a community that is focused and has one goal in mind, which is, by the way, the top goal is to provide value, which then makes you money. Right? It's not to make money first. Now, the money will come as a byproduct. It's why they joined. But the focus is on how do we provide value, because with value comes infinite riches rather than just trying to earn a commission.
Yeah. And really, we've created the value for you, and now it's your job to spread the message of that value, in a sense, to the audience that you can reach. And so we've uncovered the value and handed it over to you essentially on a silver platter. But oftentimes, here's the problem with internet marketing. One of the many problems is all of you are on different ends of the spectrum right now. Some of you have been in this game forever, but others of you can't even spell affiliate marketing, much less do it, right? And so how can you tailor content to reach each and every person? You only can do that if you have an organic environment to allow it to foster positively the discovery of knowledge. And that's what we have here. That's why I can confidently say to you, regardless of your experience, experience doesn't matter. In fact, I am neither positive towards negative when it comes to experience. There is good and bad of both having it and not having it. You give somebody who's not experienced, and I have a fresh slate. And sometimes I can do my best work with a fresh slate, right? So
it's lonely because because people don't understand you, right? Yep. If you're an internet marketer, people don't have a clue what you do because it's not a normal 9-to-5 job type situation that they can grasp.
Yeah.
It's also lonely because you're a little bit embarrassed or ashamed of the ways that you believe you have to do, or the things you have to do to make money in this business. So Affiliate Triad puts the community behind you, and it takes away that embarrassment or shame.
Well, and I'll tell you another way that it eliminates that loneliness, Will, is that you outsource loneliness to me. Because for 2 reasons. One, I love being alone. I prefer being alone more than being with people most of the time. And I'll tell you why. It's not because I'm like this crusty, curmudgeoned individual, right? It's more because I love the inside of my own head in studying and thinking and being curious and seeing what I can develop and what I could paint on the canvas, which is the Keynote PowerPoint, right? That's my modern day easel that I'm painting on.
But you're also going to be proud of what you do, and that takes away the loneliness because you will.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, on a very real level, Will, the 50 plus hours that I put into each thing in solitary confinement of development and creation, you don't have to put that in anymore. None of you do. And my 50 hours is really a shortcut for most people's 250 hours because I'm very, very hyper efficient. But
you get to observe Jason do that.
And you will. I will literally break down for you. Here's what I'm working on today. Here's how I think I'm going to do it. Here's how I'm planning on accomplishment. And then I'll come back that night or the next day and be like, here's what actually happened, right? And here's how I solved it. And here's some tricks that I employed. And obviously any of you can then model any of these in your business, right? But if you have experience or not, to me, that's secondary. If you have experience, sometimes that can be helpful, but sometimes it cannot be helpful. If you don't have experience, it doesn't matter, because we give you everything you need regardless of what your previous experience is. Experience is moot, though. Let's just all agree on that. Experience, you have it or you don't have it, it should make no effect or bearing on your investment.
Let me finish my thought on that loneliness, because we've addressed significantly the fact of having community behind you and all that. But that part of loneliness also has to do with that embarrassment or shame of the things you think you have to do, because most people have taught you that those are the things you have to do. You have to spam affiliate links out there. You have to promote things that you've never seen, because that's how you make money, because those are the high paying offers and you're going to go after big commissions.
Fake it till you make it. That nonsense, right?
I promise you one thing: when you promote an affiliate Triad offer with us, right, on one of our monthly promotions, you will never be ashamed. You will be so comfortable that if you decide to, and you don't have to, but if you decide to, you will be proud to tell your coworkers, your family, your friends, your schoolmates, or your neighbors, your church people. You will be so proud to tell them, because we're doing it. We want you to promote with ethics and passion, and we're going to instill this in you, whether you like it or not. And you will like it. I know you will, because it solves a whole lot of other problems. And we are going to teach you how to create and deliver so much value. And we will deliver that value on your behalf in most cases. So you don't even have to think about it. But you're going to observe it and be able to tell yourself. So that loneliness goes away with the community. And by the way, it also solves the audience problem. I'm not going to cover that too much, but it also covers that audience problem. Jason, I want to go back before I lose my thought here.
Killing me, man. I got a lot more to get through.
Yeah, the motivation, right? I want you to think about, just for 10 seconds, what program have you ever joined? What training have you ever purchased? What business model have you ever attempted where the person selling you that is motivated financially, not just from selling you whatever they're selling you, but they're financially incentivized by your success without taking a cut of your profits? Because a lot of people are motivated if they take a cut of your profits. If I have nothing to do with your profits, what program have you joined or experienced that is motivated on your success? Because that's what Jason covered earlier. The more money you make as an affiliate marketer promoting the offers every month, the more money we make. So I am incentivized to make you successful. The more successful you are, if you make $1 million, I get to make 100 grand. Yep. If you only make $10, I only get $1. I want you to make $1 million. Yep. I want you to make 10 million, 100 million eventually, right? The more money you make, the more money we make. So do we just deliver like the perception and here's your stuff? No, we train you. This is not a training program, but we do more training than any other training program I've ever seen. We want you to succeed. We give you the tools to succeed. We give you the mindset to succeed.
Yeah.
We do all those things that are going to have a big impact on your success. So just think about that for a second. Jason's going to cover a whole lot more about the offer and what you get. And you will very quickly see that what we get from the $349 a month is like, we don't get to keep almost any of that. So really our money comes from your success. Now, Jason, I think you missed this in the chat. Jody put this into perspective. We told you that you can outsource stuff that would normally cost tens of thousands of dollars to us, right? Jody pays $3.50 an hour to her virtual assistant in the Philippines, $3.50. That virtual assistant works 30 hours a week. That's 120 hours, give or take a few hours a month. At 120 hours, that is $420 per month.
I love it.
For a virtual assistant in the Philippines, who I would venture to say doesn't have 1/1000th of the skills and value that we bring to the table from a marketing perspective. I'm not saying they're not valuable, they are, but I am sure they're not going to create your offer or select your offers, vet your offers, create the messaging, deliver the webinars, do support. You won't get all of that from one person
or
for
10.
$420 a month, right? And
Yep.
would you rather outsource to a virtual assistant at $3.50 an hour, or which would cost you $420 a month at 30 hours a week, or would you rather outsource to the experts with a proven $100 million plus in results?
And we work more than 30 hours a week for you, by the
And
way.
we work a hell of a lot more than 30 hours.
So you're basically, I'm charging you $2.20 an hour for my work. So consulting with me is $3,125 an hour. Signing up for affiliate Triad is about $2.25 an hour. If you ever want to see somebody make it up in volume, this is the case right here, because we want it to be out of your revenue that we make our money, not because we take it from you, by the way. You make $1 million, you keep $1 million. It's just the product owner is so grateful that I brought them somebody that made $1 million that they give me as a bonus $100,000. And this is a good point here with Will. When I say Will lives into the Slack group, this is 2 months old. So this screenshot is 2 months out of date. But back then he had 7,000 messages, and we averaged it out to Will is having like 60 messages a day. But
I'm
don't
up to
get
11,000. It doesn't show me the exact number; it just shows 11K now because I've gone past 10,000.
Yeah, Slack didn't ever expect somebody to have over 10,000 messages, so they capped it there from like a number wise, and now they just round it. So Will is in there. He's answering individual questions, private messages. He's posting announcements because we post announcements of the big stuff and all sorts of other stuff as well. This is the only place our actual support team answers things in real time. They're part of the Slack group as well for affiliate Triad support. And this is why you see people that say, like, I can't imagine his level of patience and caring. Your support goes so far. I only think of a possible solution. And when I wake up, you've already provided it. Sincere dedication to the program. And again, one reason is because Will and I take pride in our work. But the other reason is because we know the more you serve, the more we serve you, the better we can all profit together. And we are incentivized for you to profit, because then we will profit to the degree at what you profit at. All right. And so as an example of last month, we got the vendor to commit $50,000 in advertising. This month, we got the vendor to do something they've never done for any other affiliate. We got them to do multiple things, actually. And so every month, we make announcements in Slack of what we've been able to negotiate to take what we think is a best-in-class, one of the greatest offers you could find and promote, and then we make it even better and give you what we call that unfair advantage. All right? And we have even more beyond this. And I'll give it to you just here right now, straight up, is we have weekly mentor calls. So anything and everything that you could ever think could be an issue, we have a mentor that is an affiliate Triad proven member of value. Get on and make office hours that you can show up and get help with. So that's coaching for you straight up right there. We reimburse for you a full marketing software in the form of Kartra. So Kartra is a platform that you can do your email marketing from. You could put your own products in there if you wish to. It's a membership site. It's an all-in-one program, and it's robust and it's thorough. And we will pay for your first full year of Kartra. We reimburse you twice a year. We rebate back to you the $97 level per month of what Kartra has as part of the program. And we also, you can start with Kartra with a $1 trial offer as well. Now, here's why we do this. There's one major reason why we do this, okay? And that is because I want you to make money. And I know long-term the best way for you to make money is to have an email list. It doesn't mean you have to do it this month or next month or the month after next month, right? But when we create the promotion for that month for you to promote an affiliate Triad, we give you two ways you can promote it. Way number one is the way every other affiliate does it. Send clicks, make money. So you set up no pages yourself. You set up no funnels yourself. You set up nothing. You just have people click on a link and we take care of the rest, right? And that's how affiliate marketing is done 99% of the time. But we also give you another option. And that option is we build out the whole funnel in Kartra and give you a very simple way of importing that into Kartra, your own Kartra account, and configuring it step by step. Everything is already developed and done. You just make some configurations towards it, right? And now you can promote my webinars, and you get the subscriber when they opt in for those webinars. So you're not just building my email list, you're also building your own email list. And here's why I want that. Because it's once you have an email list, it becomes so easy to make money. It's not even funny, because now each month when you promote affiliate Triad offers, the first thing you do is send an email out that we write for you. We write all your emails for you. Every email, we'll give you a never-ending sequence of emails for as long as you're a member. You can outsource all of your email writing to us. And we write these emails that members send out. And you can program them and you could load them in, and they will just continue to run in promotion, before promotion, after promotion, so you can cultivate the relationship with your audience. Because we want you to build an email list eventually, because that's where long-term all the money is in internet marketing. And so we will give you everything you need to be successful inside of Affiliate Triad. All the tech that you need, it's there for you. We also have all these other aspects that are also taken care of for you. We have member spotlights. I didn't talk about this. Members are having success at a staggering rate. And then we find them, and one of our mentors will interview them. I believe it's usually Jody that interviews them. I think, does Anna also do the interviews too, Will?
Jody.
Regardless, when we see members doing really well, we find out, what did you do to be successful on Affiliate Triad? And then they tell us. Now, unlike other programs that may do member spotlights, it's not really applicable to all the members, right? Because it's such a disjointed program that everybody's a part of. Everybody kind of goes their own way together. Affiliate Triad, we're all moving in the same direction because we're all promoting the same specific offer each month, right? So when you find a member who does something well, it's really easy to model it. Now, there is a scarcity issue in some people's mind that, well, if we're all promoting the same offer, then won't that monopolize it? And the answer is no, because the biggest part of your audience is you're finding audiences that are unique to each and every single one of you. There's 7 billion people plus on the planet, and none of us can reach even a fraction of that. And so the techniques of how these offers are being promoted are so enlightening, because they are way simpler than you think they are. The problem with teaching people how to get audiences and traffic is oftentimes on webinars or on videos or whatever you watch to learn this stuff, is you're learning from a guru who knows the ins and outs of all sorts of esoteric knowledge on Facebook advertising and this and that and the other, right? And they got an account rep, and they got a seasoned account, and all these other things you don't have. And they can't even teach it to you, even if they tried their best. But if you take somebody who's fresh, who's brand new, who's almost in your exact same situation, they come up with very simple ways to be successful. And that's really how everybody becomes successful initially, is they do it the very simple way. And so like Anna, who's one of our spotlight, one of our first ever spotlights, I think, came up with the simplest approach I've seen, that if you have any friends on Facebook whatsoever, or even other social media sites, just employ her strategy. Your friends are your friends. They're not my friends or anybody else's friends necessarily, right? But I believe if you get 4 of them to say yes, you will have the best month in internet marketing that most of you have ever had. And that is just one of the many ways that we do that. And honestly, Will and I are very close to even outsourcing traffic for you, believe it or not. We're not quite there yet. When we are, I promise you, $349 will not be the price point anymore. It will increase. And it has already increased prior to this Affiliate Triad from then initially.
Everybody who joins today will remain at $349 even when we increase the price.
Correct. We always grandfather people in at the price that they enrolled in, provided they stay in the program. If you cancel and come back later, you get the price of whatever it is. The other thing about Affiliate Triad, which is interesting, and this is just another example of why it's very hard to have the best message for your own offer. Will and I spend so much time fulfilling for Affiliate Triad members that we have almost no time left over to properly sell Affiliate Triad. And that is the God's honest truth there, right? What I have done today is such a disservice in a real sense of the value of what is inside of Affiliate Triad. But it is only because I have been instead really focused on the big promotion for this month for Affiliate Triad. And I figured at least if I showed up and did the best that I could with the time that I had, maybe we'll get a couple more members in Affiliate Triad. So I wanted to, even at the situation that I was presented in, at least extend the opportunity, albeit a limited one for you. But my point is Affiliate Triad is very rarely available. And when it is available, it's very, very limited in how long it is available for, because we really don't have much time outside of Affiliate Triad. In fact, Will and I's business this day is very simple. We spent 95% of our time in Affiliate Triad fulfilling for our members. We spend 4% of our time promoting Affiliate Triad, which is almost nothing. And then we spend 1% of our time on everything else, which is pretty much nothing else, right? We have a very simple business these days, which I'm really excited about. We live, breathe, eat, and sleep Affiliate Triad on a very real level. And Affiliate Triad for me is the single greatest thing I've ever been a part of, because I get to do what I do best, which is find the offers that I know are being undervalued in the marketplace and not positioned properly. And then we figure out together, Will and I, how to take them to the next level in actuality. So many times we have negotiated with the vendor to add something or to improve something on their own offer, right? And then I get to find the message that everybody's missing about this offer. That's like my favorite thing in the world to do. And then I get to develop that. And then what we do is we get to create opportunities to make offers so good that even if people already have bought those offers, they would want to buy them again. And they will in certain instances because of the bonuses that we create and this and that and the other. That is so fulfilling to me. And then what I really like the best about this is it helps my audience inside of Affiliate Triad. It really helps you actually play the game at least a level playing field. I think it gives you better than a level playing field, but I'm telling you, on your own in internet marketing, the deck is completely stacked against you. It just is. Okay. For no reason. I don't know if it's a bad reason or why it is. It just is the way that it is.
Let's call it what it is. Internet marketing as a whole, in general terms, it's a scummy market.
Well, that's a big part of it. You know what I've found is almost every business is a scummy business, where a lot of people try to take advantage of others and only a few don't play the game that way and succeed somehow despite or in spite of, not because of, right? So like, I'll give you a great example. Will and I have never been very popular in this space. One specific reason why we haven't been very popular in this space is because we don't play quid pro quo. What I mean by quid pro quo, 99% of affiliate promotions in our space are done on a you promote me and I'll promote you. And there's something, in my opinion, that is fundamentally wrong with that. And by the way, a lot of you do that now at some level if you've done the internet marketing. You don't know any better, right? As a kid, I was raised in a certain very traumatic experience, in an environment. And as such, as an adult, I didn't know how to parent because I didn't have any good role models. I had to figure that stuff out on my own. Most of us, most of the time, we just model what's around us, and that's how we survive, right? But that's just the way that it is this whole quid pro quo, you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back thing. There's only one big problem with that issue. It puts the customer last, because the vendor or the affiliate is more interested in winning favor than they are in serving the customer, period. Whether they realize it or not. Sometimes they realize it and don't care. Oftentimes they don't think about it that way, and it eludes them, right? Will and I don't have a single agreement in place, nor will we ever have an agreement in place where we say we will only promote offers that promote us. Because the moment you do that, you compromise the integrity of what you would promote. Because there's a part of you that will say, well, I will get favor in return, so I'm willing to bend my very strict standards on what I'll consider acceptable as an offer to promote inside of Affiliate Triad. And Will and I do not ever want to put ourselves in that situation to ever even consider compromising our ethics and our integrity. And so we don't play that game. That gives us a huge advantage as well. We always promote offers that we have thoroughly vetted, meaning we have went through the entirety of the program, right? No exceptions. It's a lot of effort to do that. But we do it because that's the way that we play the game. And so we have not become popular with people because I'll tell somebody, I don't think your product's good enough to promote. And I will jeopardize our friendship. And that friendship, now that it's jeopardized, will not result in them ever promoting me again. And there have been certain instances, and Will can tell you this, where we've lost $1 million streams of income because we were truthful with the joint venture partner that we were working with. And they didn't like the truth. And we could have very easily not been truthful with them and called out some things that we didn't like and certain things that we said had to be fixed if we were going to continue the relationship, right? But we didn't do it because here's the thing, and Will tell you this. I can't sell a product if I don't really fully believe in it. It's impossible for me because I have to get into a state of mind where I can go fully into that product and understand it and communicate it and go to the extra mile for it, right? And there's enough products out there for me to 100% believe in that I'll never promote a product I don't 100% believe in because it's foolish not to. I would lose my single greatest advantage that I could offer to you as an affiliate Triad member, which is with the vigor and the power and the pomposity and the excitement of promoting certain offers. And so the unfortunate side effect of that is it's almost impossible for Will and I to find the offers out of the box. We are constantly not only seeking out and looking for these offers, but then we're playing babysitter with these offers and we're tending the gardens of these offers and we're doing all sorts of extracurricular stuff to get them into the shape to where they're not a 9 out of 10, but they're a 10 out of 10. And that's why I just truly want you to be part of this program and taste it on the inside. If you like it, stay. If you don't like it, you're out $349. And that's just money. What else would you be out? I don't think you could be out anything. I think it will be valuable. You very well might find, I love this program. It's just not something I'm going to continue with. And that's okay. That's fine with me, right? But I don't want a single one of you to think, wow, this is a good opportunity and then not sign up for it. Now, if this was $3,000, yeah, that's a little categorically different type of decision to be made. And I'm not saying $349 is nothing. That is a chunk of money, right? But it is not $3,000 chunk of money or some of the numbers some of you threw at me earlier in terms of what you thought the price could be, right? $349 is almost dangerously low of an enrollment because part of you might say there's no possible way they could actually fulfill upon all of these things for that amount of money. But find out for yourself. You will discover, even though we're in the middle of this affiliate Triad promotion right now, and I really wouldn't call it a promotion, not considering what we really do from a promotion standpoint. This is just a simple opportunity that you can decide to sign up for. But once you get inside of Slack, you will already be seeing what I'm doing with the offer that we're promoting this month in terms of its messaging, in terms of how it's unfolding, in terms of how it's being positioned, in terms of what I'm discovering and what I'm learning. Because every day I'm obsessing over this product that we're going to be promoting in September, trying to find all those little things that'll make the difference. And I truly believe that if you experience that, it will give you a paradigm shift in how you play the whole internet marketing game.
Let me try and paint a picture, Jason. It's a very difficult job to paint a clear picture of Affiliate Triad, but I'm going to try. Affiliate Triad is not a training program. It is what we call an implementation program.
Right.
And I had this discussion with our mentors yesterday because we were all continually talking about how to improve it, especially for new members, like the intake process. And here's the problem with the training program, and maybe some of you will resonate. When you have a whole bunch of training, videos, audios, PDFs, and all that, then you get focused on consumption of the training and very, very small percentage of the time actually implementing what you learn. It's mostly about learning and less about implementing it. The problem is that success comes with implementation, not with learning. Learning is just a necessary evil sometimes, right? So somebody's saying, Kevin says it's truth, right?
Right.
So we want this to be an implementation program. And here's the other thing to consider. There are different types of learning learners, right? There are auditory learners, visual learners, kinesthetic learners, right? But no matter what mode of information you like to take in, whether you like to watch videos or read PDFs, there is a fact that you don't truly learn until you experience it. Like, you can't read a book on how to swim and jump into the deep end of a pool and start swimming because you read a book, or you can't watch a YouTube video on how to swim. Now, you need to understand the basics, the basic concept of what you're going to do before you start learning to swim inside the pool. But it's not until you actually swim in the pool or the ocean or the river or in the water somewhere that you truly learn to swim. So we're going to teach you through experience, because you can't get anything out of Affiliate Triad unless you do the things that we're teaching you. So we teach a little bit and then you do. For example, we start with getting you set up a domain name, and you can't go forward and do anything else with that unless you set up the domain name, right? And we have you set up your Kartra account, and you can't go forward or do anything until you set up the Kartra account, right? We want you to set up your funnel so you can capture leads, and you can't go any forward unless you set up your funnels that we give you. So you have to actually do as you are learning, learn as you do the things that we're teaching you to do. So there isn't a whole bunch of videos that you're going to watch. Trust me, there are a lot of videos you can watch, but we don't want you to go watch videos, right? We want you to actually do the work, because the work is actually what's going to drive results.
Right.
So imagine from a learning perspective, you have different types of materials. There are the how-to information, which is mostly what you're going to consume, right? How do I set up my Kartra account? How do I edit a broadcast email and send a broadcast email? How do I import the funnel and configure my affiliate link, right? This is a how-to. So that's follow along. I do this, I get that result, right? But imagine this. You get to see behind the scenes, and this is like priceless. You get to see behind the scenes how we do a promotion. So Jason posted a video yesterday in Affiliate Triad in the Slack group of how he is building the webinar presentation for the promotion that's going to start on October 8th. So every step along the way, he's going to demonstrate to you. So he would do things like show you tricks with his slide presentations. Like, for those that like tactics, it's like he has some hacks around creating slides that will make a slide presentation creation about 20 or 30 times faster than anybody else can create it. But that's just tactics, like little tidbits of information. Those don't really make you money, right? Those are just interesting. It's cool to learn. It'll satisfy your intellectual curiosity. But he will talk about how he's going to use testimonials and demonstrate how the vendor's using them versus how we're using them in his webinar or his sales pages that he's creating. That's strategic thinking, right? That's taking some tactical stuff and transforming into longer term strategy that you can implement into your own business no matter what you do. So the amount of learning that you capability that you have by being part of the process, not just by watching a video, but being part of the process and experiencing and seeing and observing an expert do his work with nothing held back from you, because we don't just put the puzzle pieces together and show you the whole puzzle, like, hey, look how beautiful this painting is in this puzzle. We show you like, hey, we tried this. Nope, it didn't work. Here's why we think it didn't work. Here's what we're going to do instead, right? Or here's what we did instead, and here's why we're doing this, right? Now, here's the cool thing about Affiliate Triad. It's like choose your own path. Most of you don't want to learn where the water comes from and how it's filtered and how it's stored and how it gets to the pipes through the house and all that. You just want to turn on the faucet and know that there's water, right? That's okay. But those of you that are intellectually curious or that want to learn super high level strategy, you can't get this type of training anywhere else, because no guru out there, no business out there, unless you're paying them a ridiculous amount of money, is going to show you their backstage. They just show you their front stage, because honestly, they're afraid to show you their backstage, because backstages are really ugly.
They can be messy.
They can be messy. They're not structured, so they lose a lot of people, right? Jason will show you the backstage. I will show you the backstage. We talk about stuff. As we are on this webinar right now, I have a Slack chat where I'm talking to affiliate Triad members, and they can ask me questions about or comment on what's going on in the webinar and concepts that Jason has covered. And we're interacting live right there outside of this webinar, right? The support you're going to get, literally, you join the support channel in Slack, and you ask a question in there, and you will literally get an answer 24/7 within minutes. I giggle all the time when I'm asleep or whatever. When I come back to, I read every message, and I read every thread. I literally spend like 80+% of my day in Slack, and my evenings too. I always laugh when I miss some stuff because I was asleep, how quickly our support team was able to answer and take care of the problem. Like literally minutes. I'm talking minute, 2 minutes, 3 minute response times to our members. And not only our support team, but our members are helping each other. Just the other day, I saw a thread where I was out for Sunday. I was not online on Sunday. And when I came back, I saw this long thread of a member helping each other. And the member said, you know what, let's just get on a Zoom call. I'll just show you how to do it. Yeah. Right? For just because of the goodness of our own heart, because members watch out for each other. You do not get this anywhere else, period. End of story. And I've been a member of so many communities and Facebook groups and training programs and you name it, right? We've never built something like this before. This is our first time, 10 years into this business.
Yeah. We couldn't build something like this until now.
We couldn't have built until now. Yeah. So imagine it is not a training program, it's an implementation program where you have the ability to start making money literally 2 weeks from now. Literally 2 weeks from now, because that's about 2 weeks from yesterday is when the next promotion starts. And we're going to get you ready starting next week to promote. Yep. So you're going to start doing work right away.
Yeah. Right? My favorite thing, Will, is people think it needs to be like months of buildup to be ready to promote. The way we do it is days. And I know that's intimidating to some of you, but there's no better way to do it than just in time. Both in terms of effort, it'll be less effort for you, and in terms of impact and output, you'll just make more money that way. Over time, you will naturally take care of the buildup and the preparation in advance, right? But every promotion has a sweet spot of timing and excitement that you need to tap into, and you can't do that 4 weeks out. It's impossible, okay? So we show you by automating so much for you that you can step into that sweet window of opportunity to promote that product, and you're going to have impact right away with it if you want to, okay? That's the trick, right? Now, Will, we've had members who flat out told us, I haven't made money with Affiliate Triad, but I will never cancel it.
Right, because the training and the tools and the resources.
Well, two reasons really is this. One is they know they will make money. Just because they didn't make money immediately, they don't evaluate things purely on a window of a 30-day success or failure. So I think that's a good way to look at things. But secondly, there's something intangible in terms of value in Affiliate Triad that just transcends commissions. And I believe that over time, if that makes you feel more right in the world, not only will it increase your ability to make money, but it'll also put into perspective for you money in its place, because it's not the only thing that should be on your value ladder, right? It is a thing that can help other things, and in and of itself, it's nice to have, and can certainly, not having it, certainly worse than having it for most of you, right? But I believe that most members realize that success will become inevitable, even if it doesn't happen right away. Whereas with other programs, predominantly, it's very binary. You're either happy you did it or you were unhappy you did it. And there's very little in between. But even our failures, quote unquote, failures of Affiliate Triad are as happy as the day is long. They're happier than some other successful customers I've seen in other people's programs. And I think it's because there's that magic extra thing that you can't quantify or put your finger on, but it's special, you know, and that's in Affiliate Triad. And we want you to experience it. Just like Will and I are telling you, you can't learn without experiencing. We can't sell you the value of Affiliate Triad without you experiencing it. It's impossible.
And let me just put in monetary terms too, because I'm getting some questions about monetary terms and stuff like that. If you're paying for an autoresponder like an Aweber or an ActiveCampaign, and you're paying for hosting services, and you're paying for a page builder, and you're paying for a help desk, and you're paying for, like, there's a long list of things that you may be paying for that you can literally cancel because Kartra is an all-in-one system, and we're going to reimburse you for it. So it's literally going to cost you nothing. So for some of you, that, especially those that have been in the business for a while, joining Affiliate Triad will actually save you money, even if you never make any money with it. It'll save you money just because you get all these free resources. So for the first year, we reimburse you for Kartra, right? So besides Jason, the stuff
we also give them, Will, after a certain period of time, we release extra funnels, evergreen funnels, reseller license style funnels too, right?
Yeah.
So we have other things in between, and we're constantly improving, by the way. See, what I love about Affiliate Triad is it's in its infancy. Now, obviously, the price point reflects that. As it grows up, so does the price point. But Will and I are adding things to it very, very rapidly to make it even better, because we know that we have a long ways to go to get it to the point where it's going to be so damn compelling that people will easily pay $2,000 a month for it. So one of the things that we've already experimented with is giving you funnels to promote in between the big promotions. And these funnels are often our own products that we allow you, in some instances, to keep 100% of the sale on. We've had members pay for a full year of Affiliate Triad from these reseller license products that we give you, with the funnel and the emails and everything else built into them, right? And so we have those in place, and we're continuing more. One thing we're exploring right now is negotiating with third-party vendors to allow them to give their product to Affiliate Triad members with exclusive funnels that are evergreen. Like, we're working with a guy right now who's really good at webinars, and he's multiple seven figures, and he's got a fantastic course. He's never done an evergreen webinar before, though. Never in a way that he felt comfortable. And we've been coaching the hell out of it because we want him to be able to do it in a way where our members have an exclusive to be able to have more opportunity to make money in between. Now, again, if you get in right now, 16 months from now, if Affiliate Triad is $2,500 a month, which it very well could be, right? You're still only investing $349 a month, provided you stayed into the program, right? Yeah, we absolutely will increase the price. I guarantee you that, but you stay at the price that's current to you when you enroll now. It's not like Netflix, how they changed everybody's pricing as they got older, right? You lock in at what you get in at. So what were you going to say, Will?
Yeah, so I just wanted to continue the path of trying to describe it. It's so difficult. So it's an implementation program, not a training program. You get to promote offers with us every month, and they're the type of offers that are usually higher ticket offers, not because of the ticket price, but because of the value that they provide and how we can help customers succeed, right?
Yeah.
You get to learn how to generate traffic. So this is that the traffic or the audience, that is your responsibility. But guess what? Jason said we're working towards even letting you outsource that to us. There's a beta program going that literally just started about 3 weeks ago that is in place right now for generating traffic on your behalf. But we don't stop there. We last month, starting September this month, we licensed the training course and software to help with generating traffic if you don't have an email list, right? That's part of what you get when you join Affiliate Triad. There are countless resources that will help you with that inside Affiliate Triad in the way of member spotlights, members sharing how they've done it, right? If you don't have, I'll give you one little tip. Not only do we allow you to promote an offer with us every month, if you don't have an email list, or you don't believe you have a way of generating traffic, which we will change your mind. Every one of you can immediately tap into a traffic source, quote unquote traffic source, that can make you commissions 2 weeks from now. guaranteed, if you're open-minded and you realize the value of what we're going to be offering, I guarantee every one of you has a list. When we talk lists, we talk about email lists. There'll be training on that next week. By the way, when you join, on Tuesday, there's the welcome webinar for new members. We're going to give you a very lengthy training on this, right? But you're going to get some training that we purchased for every affiliate triad member, along with some software to help you get organic traffic from Facebook. You're going to get methods that other members are using. You're going to get the ability to, when you start building an email list, to continue providing value to that list without doing any more work other than copying and pasting emails that we provide, that we write for you, that are non-marketing emails, that are just value-driven emails. So we are helping you keep your list, quote unquote, warm. We help you build your list by creating these funnels. Instead of sending traffic to a vendor, you send traffic to your own pages. You capture the leads on your own page, and then we forward the information to the vendor so that you get commissions, right? So you get all of this in Affiliate Triad outsourced to us. You don't have to do copywriting. You don't have to design web pages. You don't have to create webinars. You don't have to pitch.
Yep.
You just have to put offers that you believe in, that you're fully passionate about, if you're passionate about them, in front of the right people. And I guarantee you, every one of you has the right people you can reach right now, even without an email list, or even without YouTube followers or Facebook followers or Instagram followers. Don't care what type of followers. You have people that you can reach right now.
Yes.
Some of you may be thinking, well, does that mean I have to go advertise on Facebook?
Please
we
don't.
actually tell you not to.
Yeah.
We don't want you to go spend money on Facebook advertising, because it doesn't really work for short-term promotions like the monthly promotions.
Especially if you're not an expert at it already.
Yeah. Instead, if you want to spend money on paid advertising, we teach you how to use that to build your list, not to promote offers, because then once you have that list, once you have an email list, that's awesome. You can promote that to that list over and over and over again. So we teach you, the very bottom line is, we teach you to promote with passion, ethically and with passion. And when you promote ethically and you're passionate about something, how many of you have ever sold something to somebody where you didn't get paid to sell it? Like, I cannot tell you in the early days of the iPhone how many iPhones I sold, quote unquote sold, right? Because I didn't actually take money for it. But I sold it with passion, because I showed it to people what I could do with it and how cool it was and how much it was making my life better. That's selling, by the way, right? It just so happened that I didn't get paid for it, right? So everybody here can sell if you're providing massive value, right? And we're going to do the value driving for you, the value delivery for you.
Well, and oftentimes the way that I suggest most of you, quote unquote, bring your audience into the fold is very low key. So you'll see me do this 100 times. It seems like a promotion. I'm not asking you to be fancy marketers. I'm just asking you to have a conversation that says, hey, listen, have you ever considered trying to make money online? You might want to check this training out. It's free. Take a look at it, right? That style of conversation. Like if we promoted an Amazon offer, be like, hey, you've bought products on Amazon. Did you know you could also sell? If you're even the least bit interested, you might want to take a peek at this training that's coming up, right? This is the type of messaging that I find for most of you works best. It's soft. It's very unassuming. And because you're inviting them to a free training that I'm going to give, that is masterful first and foremost in its education and its insight, there is very little that you have to do on your end to get somebody engaged into the message. And if you try to be a marketer and you're not a marketer, it's like somebody trying to speak Spanish on the streets who learned how to do so in their Spanish 1 and Spanish 2 class. It's a different type of language than what's spoken on the street. If you can't speak it right, then you might as well not speak it at all. So for most of you, it's very simple. In fact, for a lot of you, I tell you to use this message. I joined a program, And in this program, I get the rights to promote certain products with certain bonuses from a company that I truly believe in. And this is the one I get to promote this month. And if you want to check it out, it would really be awesome for me, because part of the reason that I'm promoting these is I get to look at these products to see if they're really good to recommend or not. And this one passes the mustard, right? You don't have to get fancy with this. You don't have to get ultra creative with it. Now, you could also do that. Like, I'm a big fan of not one way that's either success or fail. Let me do 3 or 5 or 6 or 7 different ways, right? Just to stack the deck in my favor. And so I'm a big fan of trying multiple things. Normally, you don't get the luxury of trying multiple things because you can't even do what you're supposed to do, which is do everything, right? But in this case, since we've offloaded so much off of your shoulders and onto ours, you can experiment a couple different ways in which you can promote this. But usually the most effective way for most people initially in Affiliate Triad is the soft touch, low key, unassuming approach. If you have ever considered blank before, then you might want to check this webinar out. Not even you have to check this webinar out, right? You might want to check it out. That's what we found works the best. We promote offers inside of Affiliate Triad that are what I call mass market type of offerings, right? Like, you could not refer your cousin to some sort of like SMS retargeting pixelation strategy for making money online. You can only promote those types of offers to internet marketing insiders, people who know the lingo, the language, and the understanding of it, right? We promote things that pass what I call the stranger test. Could we pull a stranger off the street, put them in front of a computer with this product, and would they have any chance in hell of actually succeeding with it? And so we go to great lengths to find these products because that allows our Affiliate Triad members to tap more into ordinary folks in ordinary walks of life who they just happen to share commonalities with, or maybe they have a connection to in some way, shape, or form, right? And they can make that invitation. It's basically, hey, has this ever crossed your mind? If so, here's where you can find out more information free. Go here. Boom, done. That's marketing. That's the stuff Will's talking about. When people are passionate about something, they don't think in terms of marketing. They just say, I got this. It's really cool. You should check it out. And they're better salespeople than professional salespeople in that situation. Simple as that. It is impossible for us to describe this, which is one of the reasons why Affiliate Triad is the least successful promotion that we promote from a money standpoint directly, right?
We're gonna have to work a little harder on fixing this, Jason, because here's why. Because
I know.
It pains me.
It does me too.
It pains me that there are people on this call that we have not demonstrated enough value to
Correct.
them.
Yeah.
That they will not join because there was not enough value demonstrated, and the offer wasn't clearly explained. And
this violates our own criteria of how we pick the products we promote inside of Affiliate Triad, because we only promote products that are really, really easy to explain. Right?
And here's why it's so painful to me, Jason, like at a personal level, like I'm sitting here kind of cringing about it, because we know for a fact and without a doubt, and our members know too, that if you want to succeed in the internet marketing space and making money online, there is no easier, more sure way for you to do that than in Affiliate Triad. If you're unless you already have a business that is already successful online, then you can do it on your own. Because there are too many things for a beginner or somebody who's been struggling to do in order to have success. Like we talked about 3 things: offer, message, and audience, right? But when you go to offer, right, you have to not only create the product, you have to be able to deliver the product. That means you got to set up a members area, right? And you have to support the product. And you have the technology because you have to set up the shopping cart for the product. And then you have to, and it keeps going on. And on.
Graphically, you got to have the graphics and branding correct for the offer as well. Even the name of the offer in some instances is very challenging, right?
So unless you have, any other business that you have that you will attempt, you will still need traffic, but you will also need a gazillion other things on top of traffic. So with affiliate triad, if we just eliminate all those gazillion things and say just traffic, just focus on that. Some people may think, well, how do I get traffic? That's great. If you ever want to build an online business of any sort or any business period, you will need traffic. That's always a given. It's always there. But then you also have all these other things. Isn't it better if we take away all these other things and say, listen, you may not know today, you may not know yet how to drive traffic, but wouldn't you like to concentrate on just one thing?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be more likely to make you successful if you only had one thing that you don't know yet that you have to learn and get good at and leave everything else to somebody else to do? I mean,
yeah.
In that regard,
well, traffic becomes a lot easier to drive when you have something very valuable to drive it to. So the reason most people have a traffic problem is because they have a bigger problem than the traffic problem. It's they don't have anything that gets them excited enough to send strangers to.
Yep.
Don't. Or the other side, usually both of these, there's no economical way that they can drive traffic to it because the things that they could drive traffic to are not going to convert at a level that they can afford the traffic. There's free traffic, which again, the issue with that is deep down inside, they're not enthusiastic enough about the products that they're promoting. And that's why you suffer from procrastination more than anything else. See, a lot of people think that they can't take action and that therefore there's something wrong with them. I'm here to tell you the opposite is true. It's actually almost always better for you not to take action currently with what you're doing. Because deep down inside, you know that to act upon it, you're acting upon something that is not the best. And that's hard to act on. You have to convince yourself or trick yourself or try to like constantly like rev up, which is way too much effort, you know. Things become effortless to take action when you know how freaking amazing and valuable they are. Then you never have a conversation of whether procrastinate or don't procrastinate, take action or not take action. That gets thrown out the window, right? It just happens naturally like breathing does because it's so compelling. It's magnetic. It draws you to it. But right now you have a magnet pulling you away from what you're trying to do and you're fighting the current of the magnet to try to escape it. And that's hard. Why don't you have something to be drawn towards naturally so you don't think about should I act or should I not act because you're already in the state of action. Because it's so natural and it's so easy and it's so elegant, right? That's what we really design here.
We're changing the internet marketing industry, and whether you join us today or join us for a lot more money in the future, you're going to soon see and start realizing and start observing that we're making headway into changing this entire industry from a value creation perspective and an ethics perspective, because it is a scummy market. It is a market where people promote products they've never seen and tell you that that is the best thing since sliced bread, right? And they've never seen it.
From their friend who they've never met before in their life, right?
Yeah, or they market products because they're going to get a promotion back from the vendor after that promotion is over, and they don't really care about it.
Or they get to speak on their stages if they promote them, or something else that's personally advantageous only to the person and not to the audience. In fact, at the expense of the audience, right?
Yeah.
Oftentimes they'll pick products to promote based on the cash prizes that they can win by promoting those products. And again, that's nice for them, but it compromises the decisions that they make on how they should promote things. And again, some of you have fallen into that trap, but I don't blame you, you know? You only can model what you've been shown. That's why success has probably been hard for you, because you have not had a proper role model of success. But you only can model what you've been shown, and if you haven't been shown a different model, then you're constrained to the model that you've known and that you've been observant. Now, there's certain things that you can't model, even if you've been shown, because they're way too complicated for amateurs until you become pro in order to do. And trust me, I will show you things that you will say, not in 1,000 years could I do that. but
And
you
it's
don't
okay.
have to do those things.
It's
Instead,
okay.
here's what will happen for you. You will grow an appreciation of how the sausage is getting made that you currently don't have. And you will know I am sending people into a situation where I know the finer points of how this thing was developed. You know, all marketing is benefited if you take the end customer and explain more the process of the effort involved and how to create it. But that's hard to do with a stranger. It's easy to do when you're inside Affiliate Triad and you're seeing how I'm making the sausage. And you'll be like, whoa, I had no idea that they're that obsessive towards making sure these things are taken care of. And they're that committed. And once you see that and say, wow, I can bring people into these products at these extra level of commitment, it becomes very natural for you, and it becomes very easy in that sense. And by the way, Affiliate Triad doesn't have to be your one and only. Affiliate Triad for most of you, I would suggest as your income stream that facilitates you to do whatever else you want. You can still do other businesses inside and outside of Affiliate Triad. You don't have to make this your whole thing. That's why it's also so nice, because you can kind of fold it into your world at the degree that it makes sense. A lot of programs, you're either in or you're out, and there's no in between. Affiliate Triad is very malleable in that sense of how you can make it work regardless of your circumstance. And you can change it. Some months you could be more committed than other months with Affiliate Triad, and it will still work. Most programs are designed to be sequential. First you do this, then you do this, then you do this, then you do this. You know what the problem is with that? Attrition. You will lose people at every step in the process. Affiliate Triad is much more dynamic and organic. It's not linear, right? So there are easy ways that you can drop in, and there are certain things that you can play at 10% or 50% or 100%. Now, here's my selfishness. I want you to be more committed and fully in and make this your one and only for the very real specific reason that the more money you make, the more bonuses that we get. So we designed a way to get bonuses and get cash prizes and stuff like that, right? But only based on your actual results and successes. That's what we designed, a positive feedback loop. And so therefore, Affiliate Triad represents that. But unfortunately, because it takes us such gargantuous amounts of effort to create value for Affiliate Triad members, we lose the perception of building up the gift wrap. What's inside the box is great, but you'll have to forgive me because I'm using last year's Christmas wrapping paper, and it's torn a little bit, and I don't have a pretty bow to put on it. We're working towards it, David. We're going to get there one day, Will and I are. But we're also trying to sell our own thing, and that's really hard to do. So try it out. If I could implore you to try anything out right now for just $349, I say just. I know it's a good chunk of cash, but compared to the value and compared to alternatives, it's essentially free. It really is. And I want you to experience it. And for each and every single one of you, there will be something different inside of Affiliate Triad that will make it all worthwhile for you. I don't know what that is specifically for you and how that will be, but I've just noticed that we have so many different cool things that will resonate with so many different personality types. And that's another reason I like Affiliate Triad. Most programs, they attract people that are like the guru who's selling the programs. They're very biased towards one personality or one approach or one style, right? Affiliate Triad, because it's a whole community. It's not just me or Will or me and Will. And there's so many different ways to do this right. Once you have the best offers and the best messages, that you can actually step into it and keep your personality and who you are as an individual as part of the process, but still tap into the dynamics of having a group, a positive, impactful community behind you in every sense of the word. And I hate using the word community even, Will, because marketers have ruined that word too. They call community, what they call that is just another opportunity to market products, right?
Right.
And that's not what we do in Affiliate Triad.
Not by any stretch of the imagination. So we have some members who joined already. Fred joined, and he's an Affiliate Triad, and he already introduced himself in there.
Cool.
And within like 10 minutes of him joining, he already had no less than 14 replies from other members.
Wow. That's cool.
Welcome, Fred, and you're in the right place, Fred. And these are members just like you. Fred, who are saying hello to you. So welcome to the community. And there are several others who have joined already. And when that timer hits 0, Affiliate Triad is closed for a while. And the reason we have to do that, the reason it's so tough for us to promote Affiliate Triad is because we only literally have 4 to 5 days on any given month where we can do it. Because right after that, right after you join, we have to welcome all the new members. We have to do a training, an indoctrination training. And then right after that, 3 or 4 days later, we have to release the funnels and train you on how to set up the funnels in your Kartra account, because the promotion starts the week after that. There's no time to lose. So we can't sell Affiliate Triad. We can't let new members in next week because they'd be lost.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a very short time frame, and this is not false scarcity. Scarcity is because we don't want to distract other members or anybody, or even our team in the middle of a.
We can't drop in new members mid promotion. It's impossible.
Yeah.
So we have a very, very real tight window of Affiliate Triad when we can take in new members.
Yep.
Yeah. And by the way, our Affiliate Triad members have been some of our best referrers of Affiliate Triad. And certainly, I'm not suggesting you join Affiliate Triad to promote Affiliate Triad, because again, we have done a very poor job of supporting our members in promoting Affiliate Triad with resources and tools, because again, we're so busy trying to get them to promote the big promotions that we do each and every month.
Jason, there's something on your slide there, 365 email sequences.
Yeah.
These aren't 365 emails that we're going to hand to you all at once. There are lots of email sequences. There are the promotion email sequences, like during a promotion, for example, during a 6 or 7 day promotion or 8 day promotion, you will get probably 12 to 15 different emails you can use. In between promotions, you get 3 to 5 emails a week that you get to use that are non-marketing emails. So the question was like, what kind of niche are they in? This isn't niche specific. This is value driven type of content that you're going to be able to share with your audience. They are all they are all tailored towards the internet marketing space, not niche, but space, right? For somebody that wants to start or grow an online business. That's what those are in. Yep. And those aren't, again, these aren't like, here are your 365-day emails. All the emails are written every week. They are fresh. And when you join, you can look at the older emails. But what's important is the emails that you will continue to get as time goes on. They're all
written to be current. They have to be.
To be current. Yeah, that's where value comes from. It's not like, hey, we paid somebody last month to write 365 emails and you get to use them for the next year. Those types of emails are useless most of the time.
Yeah, they become very blasé and bland and very like stuffy, and you could tell. I mean, here's what you would have to do in order to effectively use email marketing. You would not only have to build a list, which can be challenging, and then send emails to the list to maintain a relationship with that list. But you can't just only email your list when you want them to buy something. You also have to nurture that relationship, and that's really hard. And so what we do is we employ the best copywriters that we have access to in between promotions to create content and relationship for emails for you. And they're writing it like you would normally write the emails. They wake up and say, I got to create email content to keep the audience happy and eager and excited. And then they write them. And then we just give them to you. That was not intended initially. What Will and I discovered is we're like, man, how do we get more people to build a successful email list so they do better in Affiliate Triad promotions each month, because they can just send traffic now at a click. And then we really dove into it. By month 3, we realized the big issue wasn't building the email list. It was our members were freaked out once they got an email list, because they're like, what do I send them? I don't know what to say to them. I'm afraid I'm going to lose them. I'm nervous, right? We're like, what the hell? We'll just write the emails for you. And now we have literally forever email content for Affiliate Triad members. As long as you're in the program, you will have all your emails written for you. Now, this doesn't mean you can only use them in email sequences, by the way. I'm a big proponent of repurposing content, and you'll see me give you tips throughout each and every promotion on the hooks The angles, the insights, that's what's important. Email is just a medium. It's just a format. Here's how you can take that and adapt it. And here's how you can utilize it in other aspects. Here's how you can get attention with this. Here's how you can, put a message out with that, right?
Yeah,
The
you can
content
take
is
those emails and base social media posts off of those emails. You can create videos based upon those emails. We're not talking about like 20-line emails. We're talking about emails that are very long form usually, right?
Yeah, I write about 12,000 words worth of email per promotion, period, right? That you get access to. And these are, Will can tell you, because we've tried to test me against every other damn email writer that we could find, right? I just have this ability to write email that is hard to match. And a lot of it is because of how thorough my emails are, in the sense of the depth of knowledge that I can convey in those emails. And that is incredibly hard to do. Let's just be clear here. It's super hard to do that, because my number one rule of emails that are powerful is they have to be different than the types of emails that go into the inbox. Well, how do you hire and teach somebody to write emails where they can't model other people's emails? It's really hard to do. And so I write emails with a whole different set of rules than anybody else, primarily because I know that being different is very important. Now, how do we be different and build a relationship? How are we insightful and exciting in our communication? How are we saying things that nobody else is saying who's an expert on this topic to their audience, right? That is also valuable and should be said. That's the kind of stuff that I figure out with the emails that I write and create. Eventually, everybody else steals my emails. The marketing world will copy them 6 months later, and I have to innovate faster than they can copy, which I do. So they model them after they have came and went, but you get first dibs at them. You don't have to reheat them in the microwave, right? You get them fresh out of the oven.
All right, Jason, looks like we've answered a bunch of most of the questions that are here. If anybody has additional questions about Affiliate Triad, go ahead and ask in the chat box right now in case we missed it, because there are a lot of comments, and I think we've demonstrated. I don't think we did too bad of a job demonstrating the value. We may have done a poor job explaining the details of it, but it looks like people are getting the value of this. And Dean just said, for example, I'm psyched. Kevin just said, love it.
Yep. Let me warn you of something. When you first get in, you will have no frame of reference for a program like this to anything else you've ever purchased. And for some people, it freaks them out a little bit at first, right? It's kind of like the first time most of us went in an airplane. Being 30,000 feet in the air, even though we know it's a safe form of transportation and this and that and the other, right? You still got a little nervous, I'm guessing, at first. Most people would. I did, right? But once you put your seatbelt on, you're going to be okay. So I fully expect some of you to get in there and just be like, because it's different. But because it's different, it's going to be a game changer for you. And again, we are there to help and assist you and steer you in the right direction. And I'm not there to be your best friend. I'm there to be your best income earning resource. I'm there to be your best bet at profit. All right. So sometimes I'm going to ask things for you that you might find a little bit hard to wrap your head around, because I know you can do them. And then when you do them, you're going to come back and you're going to thank me, because I'm not going to allow you to sell yourself short. And you're going to discover that also in Affiliate Triad, of how oftentimes I believe it is my healthy attitude towards your capacity to be successful that propels success in a lot of instances, because you will see how much I believe in you, and then you'll start believing more in yourself as a result of that. But the
community will believe in each and every one of you.
Oh, of course, right? I don't do it though in a fluffy way. A lot of people, like, they can spout platitudes to you, right? And they can, fluff you up and make you feel good, and then it wears off an hour later, right? And then you get buyer's remorse and all this other nonsense. Like, I do it with very real specific examples of things that I feel are more scientific. Let's just put it that way, to where it becomes irrefutable through your own senses as I am showing this to you in real time. Because I do have that unique ability to where I know what I'm doing. Most genius comes where they don't know how they do it. They just do it and they can't explain it. Then there's a lot of people who can explain what they can't do, but make you feel like they can do it. And then there's that very sliver of humanity that somehow can do what they do and has the ability to explain it to somebody else in a way where it's not just intuitively done or it's not like magic. And when I break things down, I think it takes away the magic, which I love. You're like, oh, that's how it's done. Okay, that makes sense. It's not nearly as daunting or as freaking crazy as I thought it would be, because elegance is always the aim for success, in my opinion. And you will discover how little different you and I really are, if I can put it that way. I just have figured out some things at looking at the world different than most, and I've chunked it down into very easy to manage parts. And I will reveal those parts to you over and over and over again. And if you do a sliver of what I can do, you're going to do more in terms of revenue than what most people will ever do. And that's the truth.
I so look forward to working with each and every one of you inside Affiliate Triad. You will see that I live and breathe us, Affiliate Triad. I live in Slack. You will see me there all the time, day and night, odd hours of the night, weekends, weekdays. You will wonder, many members have wondered, and you can search for posts in there on this. They wonder if I ever sleep. My sleep schedule is a bit erratic. But there isn't one day, Jason, you mentioned this earlier, it's easy to promote and talk about and sell something that you believe in or that you enjoy. And there isn't one day in the past 5 or 6 months since we started Affiliate Triad that I've dreaded going into Slack, right? There isn't one day that I've dreaded doing something toward Affiliate Triad, toward growing the program or making members more successful, just because I love it. And you will see that passion as I communicate with you when you join, because you get to communicate directly with me in the chats and the group chats, and as well as other members in our support team. But I'm in there. It's not, Jason doesn't spend a whole lot of time in Slack because he's doing all the back end creation of the conversion materials and the promotion. Yep. He's getting the products. He and I work together, and I keep him aware of what's going on in Slack, and I help him with crafting the bonuses, and you will hear about how Jason and I work together. But he jumps in there once in a while and shares some training, shows you how he's creating the promotional materials and all that. But I'm the guy who lives in there with you, right? I'm the co-founder and CEO of Rapid Crush. Jason and I work on a daily basis together. I've seen more inside of Jason's head than anybody else on this planet.
Yeah, I'd love to tell about it.
I can complete his sentences sometimes. And I keep him out of trouble a lot too.
Oh, more than anybody would know, right? Will keeps me at least somewhat tethered to reality.
But we have a lot of fun. We absolutely have a lot of fun doing what we do because we enjoy working with our members. We enjoy what we do. We enjoy cleaning up this internet marketing space. We enjoy challenging the status quo, right? Yep. Elon Musk challenged the status quo on selling cars not through dealerships, right? We challenge the status quo by not doing reciprocals. We challenge the status quo by changing the way affiliate promotions are done. It's just we like innovating and we love innovating on behalf of our members and for the benefit of our members. Jason, you haven't talked too much about Quad Win. Let's talk about Quad Win really quick.
This came about from a sales script that I wrote that Will was proofing one day and going through it, making sure it made sense and everything. And he was like, "Oh, that's really good. Let's explore that." Because the idea of quad win is we've heard win-win, right? Win-win situation. So like a quid pro quo is a win-win. I scratch my back, you scratch your back. There's very few win-wins that exist out there. Most of the time it's win-lose. Somebody has an advantage over somebody else. Either somebody has paid more money than they should have, or somebody has got the short end of the money and gave too much value away, and then they grow to resent it even though they got a customer, right? So win-win is rare. It's talked about a lot, but it's rare. And then there's that win-win-win situation where sometimes, like in an ideal situation, a win-win-win would be like the product creator wins because the affiliate wins because the end customer won. The end customer won because they got the bonuses from the affiliate that were good, and the end customer won because they got those bonuses for a product for free from the affiliate. So that's how the customer could win. The affiliate wins because they get 50% of the commission for the promotion. In this case, let's just say it's 50%. And so they win because they could get a customer for the vendor that otherwise the vendor wouldn't get. And the vendor wins because they get more people to know about their product. Now, win-win-win, that happens even less because oftentimes the affiliate and the vendor conspire to take advantage of the customer. Or the bonuses that the affiliate creates, even if they're well-intentioned, don't help the customer. In fact, they harm the customer because they create objections and doubts and issues that didn't exist, right? Or other times in the instances is the vendor will do something stupid and then the affiliate will miss out on a sale that they should get. And we take great pains to prevent those opportunities from happening. If you promote anything at Affiliate Triad, you have such better affiliate tracking than you can get anywhere else with anyone else. And I can't even begin to describe to you the levels of redundancy just on the tracking and the technical aspects that we put in place for that, right? But that's win-win-win. Almost never happens. And Will and I stumbled upon the concept of quad win, which is win-win-win-win. And we fell in love with it. And we've been using it for as many things as possible because we've engineered a quad situation here. Here's what I mean. The product owner wins when we promote their product, or we pick the product to promote for Affiliate Triad members, right? That's one. The affiliate wins, that's you in this case, because you get to promote better bonus packages than anybody else gets with better deals for exclusive products with my webinars and everything else, right? The customer wins because oftentimes we will put into place things that will make the customer more successful just with our components than they would with the product itself, right? So that's 3 wins. And then we win because we've helped everybody else win, right? And so that's the quad win situation. There's 4 entities that we've been able to manufacture a win for. The vendor wins, you win, the end customer wins, and we win. And that is that positive feedback loop. And that never happens in business. I've never seen that happen. Because almost always somebody gets greedy or they're just not sophisticated enough to be able to put all those pieces in place and to make it work. Or they just don't understand. I'll tell you this, here's what it really is. Most people don't believe in abundance. They talk about abundance. They act like they live abundance, right? But when push comes to shove, they're as scarcely minded as anybody is, right? And so a lot of people, and I'm sure some of you are struggling with this issue, and we'll cure it for you. Just hang out with us enough and it'll be cured, right? Is they don't truly believe that there's a way to create ethical win-win in a way that is advantageous for everybody. A rising tide that lifts all boats. Because again, we have so many models where it is not win-win. You look at the stock market. You tell me stock market is win-win? Stock market is predicated to be zero-sum. There has to be a loser for a winner. And in so many businesses, that is the case as well. And in so many societies, it's the haves versus the have-nots, or it's those in control, it's the ruling class, and it's the rest, right? Who knows what it is? It doesn't matter what it is. What matters is that in most situations, the world as it is, unfortunately, is built to be some win at the expense of others losing. And Will and I, we started in win-win, and then we said, how do we add a 3rd win to that? And now how do we add a 4th win to that? And we've got all the parties involved, I think, because the unique position that Will and I have placed ourselves in with these promotions is we have found a way to promote products that allow other affiliates to better promote. Because Will and I could share you stories of when we were promoting affiliate products against other affiliates and how dirty they would get with us. They would simultaneously steal our pitches and our bonus ideas and then sell against us. So they would say, those guys suck, buy from me, and oh, by the way, my guarantee looks exactly like their guarantee. And I don't mind that because we'd still outvalue them in the marketplace, so I didn't really care. I just didn't like the fact that we were creating disharmony. It just bothered me a lot, right? And so I'm like, how can we turn our supposed enemies into our best friends? And our first iteration of this was we get affiliates to promote with us so they don't have to steal from us or compete against us, but they just have to give us half their commissions. That's the only way we can make that worthwhile. And that was kind of win-win. I mean, it was win-win, but it wasn't as big of win for everybody involved, including us or them, as I would like it to be. And Will's actually the one that came up with the concept of affiliate triad. Because he initially pitched the idea, and I'm like, dude, I don't want to have to convince people to give me commissions, even if it's a small slice of their commission. And he's like, dude, maybe we don't have to. And then we whiteboarded it out, and we figured it out. We don't take any of your commissions in affiliate triad. We don't touch a single penny of them. You get them. In certain instances, we will negotiate for you things where sometimes vendors of affiliate programs will be like, oh, we're going to charge them 2% less. Even though we say it's 50%, it's after merchant fees or something silly like that, right? And we're like, nah, don't do that. Just pay them 50%. So that's one of many ways in which not only do we not touch your commissions, we actually enlarge your commissions for you in a way that you never would get them otherwise. And that's a win-win situation. But again, it's quad win. It's winning all around. Yeah, that's it. Great domain name, by the way, too. And this is another expertise you get when you employ us as your team. One of the biggest mistakes people make when selling stuff online is they just don't make it easy for people to go and sign up. And I've been paid big money to teach people that concept, and you'll just get it naturally in place for you when you go.
So Jay just asked a question. Did I understand correctly that when I offer one of the affiliate triad promotions to my list, all the bonuses that will enhance the main product will come from us? That's correct, Joe.
Yep, absolutely.
Jay, we will create a bonus package. And now, one of the things that you will learn, and almost nobody we've ever worked with understands this one concept. Bonuses aren't about just piling on different things.
It's not quantity.
It's not quantity. It's specificity and quality.
And positioning.
The bonus package is bigger than our bonus package, but it isn't as good as our bonus package. If it doesn't enhance the offer properly, it'll actually be detrimental to sales. So you can, as an affiliate triad member, use our entire bonus package and then add a few things of your own. We suggest that unless you're very experienced, that you don't do it, because instead of giving you an advantage, you could be giving yourself a disadvantage.
Yeah.
And this is so counterintuitive because people think, oh, the more the better. It is just not. It does not work that way. And it not only will it sometimes decrease your conversion, but it will hurt the customer. So you've just tossed the whole quad win out the window.
I mean, would the Mona Lisa be better if we added more color to it? Probably not, right? So sometimes the bonus package will appear to be very simplistic, but it's only because we have determined that we feel, based on our experience, that it's the best possible way to optimize not only the conversion to make you the most money, but to optimize the customer success possibilities as well. Because sometimes more is harmful, not less. It's like if you don't take the right medication, not only is that bad, but if you say, oh, well, if 2 pills are good, let me just take 6 pills, right? Then you're going to end up in the emergency room. So more is not better. In fact, more is often worse. There are certain exceptions to this rule. So we almost always say just defer to our judgment, because Will and I have made the bonus package an art form. And we know when to do a lot and when we know to focus on a few things and how to position them. Because to me, it's all about positioning. Oftentimes, it's really simple. And there's just one bonus, in fact, that we need to put on there, the cherry on top, right? Other times there is concepts that make it so that way we're going to bring in multiple different bonuses as well. But yeah, the bonuses is everything. We have proven that.
We create them, we deliver them. If we need to buy them, we buy them on behalf of the customer, right? On your behalf. and we support the bonus package too.
Yep. Yep. It would amaze you how many affiliates have lost millions of dollars simply because they didn't fulfill the bonuses properly. The bonuses existed. The bonuses were there. They just didn't get them to the customer somehow. They screwed it up. Now, a lot of that reason is because it's hard to track to the individual customer if you're an affiliate who you refer, so who should get the bonuses, right? And oftentimes, and this is now we're getting way too granular, but whatever. I mean, I've already opened up the door, so let me step through it, right? Is oftentimes, here's what an affiliate will tell a customer. Buy from the vendor, then forward me your receipt and ask for your bonuses, and then I will give them to you. Here's the major problem with that. In one sense, it's easy for you, but you're putting the burden on your customer. I would much rather make it as so simple as possible where the bonuses just show up for my customer and they have to do the least amount of effort in order to get those. And that's what we do in Affiliate Triad. We never make the customer have to go out of their way and work extra hard to get the bonuses. And we can do that because we have mastered all the tracking on your behalf to know who gets what, when they get what, and we can automate that for you. And we fulfill up on it. So half the battle is coming up with the bonuses. The other half of the bonus, the other half of the battle is selling the bonuses, okay? And really, honestly, all that combined, there's still a big chunk left over. So it's a third, and the last third is the fulfillment of the bonuses and the support of those, which we will do for you as well. Yeah. Oftentimes we are putting bonuses in place that cost us money to support. There's overhead involved in these bonuses, and we don't pass that on to you either. There may come a day where that changes. If that did, it will be a way for you to opt out of it. I can't imagine that ever happening because I don't want to put a position in. I want to bear the responsibility and risk. So like one of the greatest things that we do in affiliate promotions is when it makes sense, and it doesn't always make sense, but when it does make sense, we do better than money back guarantees. And I will tell you, I've coached a lot of people that are really successful and really smart who will never be able to do a better than money back guarantee because they're so scared of the boogeyman of what if, right? And now you get to leverage money back guarantees that are better than money back that nobody else does. And Will and I will take on the what if. We can underwrite this. You know, Will and I are financially in a very good position, probably a better position than you're in. So we can tolerate financial risk on your behalf and not force you to take that on. And I think that's super valuable. I think that's really powerful to have a company that can do that for you. Here's the one thing that's always pissed me off about this business is the vendors always ask the customers to invest with them, and they very rarely invest in their customers. And so like in big affiliate promotions that Will and I would participate in, they would give cash prizes away to affiliates, but they never would give cash away to customers. And I would argue that the customers needed the cash more than the affiliates needed the cash. So they would do $100,000 in joint venture prizes, but they would never do $100,000 in customer prizes. They could take that same $100,000 and divide it in two, give $50,000 to affiliates and $50,000 to end customers, right? But they never, ever would do that. And I would even try to coach them and consult them to do that, right? Will and I, we just break the checkbook out. We just pay for things for you. Because it's a smart investment in our customer base. No two ways about it. So we buy Kartra for you, in a sense. We rebate it from you, right? We buy your interest into Slack. Because Slack is predominantly supposed to be used for like virtual teams in a company. Think of that communication that you would need for a company if we were a company together, if we were all one company. Well, that's the technology we're applying for you. It costs a lot of money, but we're willing to pay for the people that we're bringing in for this as well. Because I think it's foolish to only ask you to invest and not invest in you. But that's the kind of thinking that applies in the promotions that we do as well in Affiliate Triad. And I'm not just talking about money that we spend to develop tech, because every company does that. That's not really an investment back into you. That's an investment that they hopes to pay off when they sell it to you. I'm literally talking about we will invest in guarantees. We will buy third-party stuff in certain instances to make the bonuses. We will bring in opportunities that Will and I could take the money, but we give you the money instead. Many times. We don't talk about them almost ever, but there are many times where a vendor will offer us a chunk, and we will take that chunk and break it in half so you get part of it when we could have kept the whole thing, right? I think that's just good business sense. I think it's good to spread it around like that. I don't want a bigger piece of a pie. I want to make the pie bigger so everybody gets a bigger piece. Will, let's wrap it up.
That sounds great. Thank you everybody for being here. I look forward to seeing you in Slack. I'm in the office. I'm going to take a quick break and drive back home. And then I'll be welcoming all the new members in Slack. And I look forward to working with each and every one of you. Thank you for our current members that have been here supporting us and listening. You're as a member, you also get invited to all kinds of other webinars and trainings that are not even related to Affiliate Triad. Sometimes not promotional stuff. We don't like to promote stuff to Affiliate Triad members, but just stuff that you can listen to and learn from. Like when we create a product, sometimes Jason just did that earlier this week. Our members were invited to just watch the product being created live.
I just needed a live audience so I could do my magic. So they benefited from that, right?
Exactly.
We got the full product for free just because they needed a live audience.
That's awesome. Best investment you will ever make in your internet marketing business, if this is what you want to do, is build an online business. I guarantee you that, and you will see that within like an hour of joining Affiliate Triad. If you just poke around in Slack and in the members area, you will be amazed at what you're going to be able to get. And so often I've heard you guys left a couple of zeros off of the off of the 349 because you just can't get this level of value anywhere else for that price. So thank you, everybody. Jason, awesome job, my friend. I will be chatting with you shortly after this webinar because we got to talk more about the next month's promotion.
Yep. Yeah, that's on my list.
All right. Okay, everybody. Bye-bye.